मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। गुड मॉर्निंग अतुल जी।
गुड मॉर्निंग राहुल जी।
मॉर्निंग
गुड
सर।
मॉर्निंग सर।
आज
गुड
भी
मॉर्निंग।
हमारे मॉर्निंग सर, आज भी हमारे एक मेंबर ने यहाँ पे एक नंबर से लॉगिन किया हुआ है। मेरी रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी प्लीज इसे रीनेम करके अपने नाम से लॉगिन कीजिए सर, अदरवाइज मैं अटेंडेंस मार्क नहीं कर पाऊंगा। और मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि कल का भी आपका अटेंडेंस मार्क नहीं हुआ। अगर आप एक नंबर से लॉगिन करके बैच ज्वाइन करेंगे, कैमरा ऑफ रहेगा, तो मुझे पता ही नहीं कि ये नंबर कौन है, तो मैं ऐसे में अटेंडेंस मार्क नहीं कर पाऊंगा। तो प्लीज इसको या तो रीनेम कीजिए, अदरवाइज लॉग आउट कर लीजिए। मुझे बस 2 मिनट का वक्त दीजिएगा, मैं आपकी फैकल्टी को कांटेक्ट करता हूँ और आपका सेशन स्टार्ट करवाते हैं। सेशन स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं आप सभी का यहाँ पे अटेंडेंस मार्क करना चाहूंगा। प्लीज अपना अटेंडेंस मार्क करवाइएगा। हमारे पहले साथी हैं हमारे साथ यहाँ पे मिस कीर्ति। प्लीज अपना नाम अगर आप सुनते हैं तो प्रेजेंट या कुछ भी जो चाहें आप वो कह सकते हैं। मिस कीर्ति। नेक्स्ट मेंबर है मिस शिल्पा।
प्रेजेंट सर।
मॉर्निंग मैम। मिस्टर साई कृष्णा।
मॉर्निंग राहुल जी।
मॉर्निंग कृष्णा सर। मिस्टर अतुल।
मॉर्निंग सर। गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
मॉर्निंग सर। मिस्टर प्रमोद। मिस्टर प्रमोद। मिस नोवा जोन।
प्रेजेंट।
मॉर्निंग मैम। मिस्टर अखिल। मिस्टर अखिल।
प्रेजेंट सर। किधर?
मिस्टर अखिल।
प्रेजेंट सर।
मॉर्निंग सर। मिस्टर योगेश।
प्रेजेंट सर। गुड मॉर्निंग।
मॉर्निंग। मॉर्निंग योगेश जी। मिस्टर किशन। मिस्टर किशन। मिस्टर प्रशांत। मिस्टर इशफाक। मिस्टर शिवम।
प्रेजेंट सर।
मॉर्निंग सर। मिस्टर भानु प्रकाश। मिस
प्रेजेंट सर।
पवानी। मॉर्निंग सर। मिस पवानी। मिस्टर नीरव।
प्रेजेंट सर।
गोविंद।
प्रेजेंट सर।
और हमारे नए साथी हैं मिस्टर सत्य।
प्रेजेंट सर।
मॉर्निंग सर। आप
मॉर्निंग।
सभी का आज मॉर्निंग सर। आज सभी का यहाँ पे आज सेकंड डे है क्लास का। तो कल की क्लास के अनुभव में शाम को कुछ एक परेशानी मुझे महसूस हुई थी, तो मैंने आपकी वो क्लास थोड़ा सा रीशेड्यूल करवाई है। तो उसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन मैं आज आपसे बिफोर आफ्टरनून में शेयर कर दूंगा। और हमारी नेक्स्ट फैकल्टी, सॉरी, आज की जो फर्स्ट फैकल्टी है रेवती मराठी जी, वो हमें ज्वाइन कर चुकी हैं। तो रेवती मैम स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं।
यस सर। गुड मॉर्निंग। एम आई ऑडिबल सर?
मॉर्निंग मैम। हाँ जी बिल्कुल।
हाँ।
रेवती मैम के साथ कल आपकी मुलाकात ऑलरेडी हो चुकी है। किसी इंट्रोडक्शन की मोहताज वो वैसे भी कभी नहीं रही हैं। बहुत सारे आरवीओज में मैम एज अ फैकल्टी के रूप में अपना किरदार निभाती आई हैं। और वैल्यूएशन में जितने सब्जेक्ट्स मैम कवर करती हैं, शायद ही कोई एक आध सब्जेक्ट हो जो उनके हाथ से बचा हो। अदरवाइज फर्स्ट डे सेकंड डे के बेसिक सब्जेक्ट से लेके केस स्टडी तक में उनको महारत हासिल है। और इतनी आसानी से वो केस स्टडी जैसे टॉप टिपिकल सब्जेक्ट्स आपको समझा देंगे कि जैसे मानो वो बड़ी ही आसानी, मतलब जैसे कि बहुत ही इजी सब्जेक्ट्स हो। जबकि खेल इतना आसान है नहीं आईबीबीआई का, कितना पेचीदा है थोड़ा बहुत आप समझ चुके होंगे, दिन भर दिन आप समझते चले जाएंगे। मगर जिस ईमानदारी से आप डे फर्स्ट आवर का सेशन अटेंड करती हैं, उतनी ही ईमानदारी और पंचुअलिटी के साथ आप लास्ट डे का लास्ट आवर भी अगर अटेंड करेंगे, यकीन मानिए आपका एग्जाम जरूर क्लियर। लोगों के लिए ये ट्रेनिंग मोर देन 60 to 70% पार्ट होता है उनकी पूरी प्रिपरेशन का। हर 50 घंटे, जो पूरे 50 घंटे हैं, अगर आपने क्लास अटेंड की है तो समझ लीजिए आपने ट्रेनिंग का एक बहुत बड़ा जो आपका पार्ट है आपकी तैयारी का, वो आपने कवर कर लिया है। बचा कुछ पार्ट आपके मॉक टेस्ट और आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन वो कमी पूरी कर जाएंगे। तो अब आपका सेशन यहाँ से शुरू करवाते हैं। रेवती मैम कंटिन्यू करें।
Yes.
थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम।
Thank you.
आपका सेशन आपके हवाले। मेरी
Yes.
सबसे दरख्वास्त रहेगी कि कल की तरह प्लीज अपना कैमरा यहाँ पे सभी ऑन कीजिएगा। ये कैमरा मैं हमेशा कहना चाहूंगा कि ये सिर्फ अटेंडेंस के लिए जरूरी नहीं है, ये एक रूबरू मुलाकात के लिए भी बहुत जरूरी है। कल किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस में, किसी इवेंट में, किसी सीपी सेशन में आप अगर आप रेवती मैम से मुखातिब हो भी, तो आप कहेंगे कि मैम वो 2025 में आपके अंडर बैच ज्वाइन किया था, तो मैम कहेंगी कि मैं तो नहीं पहचान पा रही, शायद आपका कैमरा बंद होगा। तब याद आएगा आपको कि कैमरे की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या होती है। तो प्लीज यहाँ पे अपना कैमरा ऑन रखिएगा और आपकी अटेंडेंस के लिए भी उतना ही जरूरी है। थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच।
Thank you.
रेवती मैम।
बात तो सही की सर आपने।
थैंक यू।
Thank you. So, good morning everyone. Ready for the session?
Good
Satya
morning.
ji,
Good morning.
Morning, ma'am. Ready?
yes, Shriram ji, Atul ji, Hari ji,
आई एम
Govind ji,
सॉरी मैम,
Neetu ji.
एक लास्ट बात मैं कहना चाहूंगा। एक
Yes
बार मैं
sir.
माफी चाहता हूँ दखल अंदाजी के लिए। मैं एक बार फिर से अनाउंस करना चाहूंगा कि हमारे जो साथी हैं जिन्होंने नंबर से ज्वाइन किया है, वो इसको प्लीज रीनेम कर लीजिए, वरना मजबूरन मुझे उन्हें एक्सपेल करना होगा यहाँ से। बिकॉज पूरा दिन अगर वो सेशन ज्वाइन करते हैं, मैं अटेंडेंस मार्क ना कर पाऊँ तो भी मैं कसूरवार। बेहतर ये है कि मैं उन्हें क्लास से एक्सपेल कर दूं। अगले से 2 से 5 मिनट में इंतजार करूंगा, वो रीनेम कर ले तो बेहतर है, अदरवाइज मैं एक्सपेल कर। थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम, प्लीज कंटिन्यू कीजिए। आई एम सॉरी।
Thank you, sir. So we will start our session on report writing. Very important because we have a technical knowledge. We can do the valuation, but whatever we are doing, we have to give in a writing. So report writing is an art. So it is very important that we are giving a report writing in the report in the writing form. So we should know how we will give the report. So we will start with the report writing. So very first, again, my question to all of you: what is valuation? Can anybody? What is valuation? कोई बता सकता है?
Ma'am, valuation is our opinion on something to give some value.
Okay, it's opinion. Definitely, it's opinion. But opinion come into existence when we know we have a technical knowledge, right? So definitely. But the word value, again, I'm repeating, we are giving a fair market price of an asset. We are giving fair market price of an asset for which we require the technical knowledge and experience of a valuer. Okay, and it is also an art because whatever we are seeing the word valuation, we are giving in a writing. So it is an art. So it is a combination of a technical knowledge, experience, and the art of a valuer. Upon that, we are giving a fair market value of any asset considering the market scenario. So market scenario is very important because if you are giving a valuation of a one asset today, definitely it is not compulsory in next year it will be the same. It can be a same, it can be a more, it can be a less also. So by seeing market scenario, we are giving a fair market price of an asset. So this is the definition of a valuation. So now technical knowledge, you will take for this 50 hours, then you will study, then you will pass the examination, means you will get a technical knowledge. Whenever you will do the you are going continue with this profession, your experience will be going on increasing. Now an art. So for art, when you are giving the valuation of report, what you should keep in mind while giving the valuation, we will go through that one. So we'll start. Now, an examination point of view, it has a weightage of 3 marks. The 3 questions will be asked from this valuation report writing. The valuer receives instructions from the client to carry out valuation of land and building. The valuer performs his duty as per the terms of reference and estimates value. Right from taking instruction from client, inspecting the property, collecting data, analyzing data, and estimating value, whatever he has done is to be reported in the writing. So from the first, when you are getting any assignment of a valuation, what we are doing, we are taking all necessary information from the particular client, then we are taking the documents, then we are visiting the that particular asset, and then we are collecting the data, and with our technical knowledge, we will decide by which approach we will do the valuation, right? And then we will come to a one fair price of that particular asset, and all these things we are giving in a writing form in terms of a report. While writing valuation reports, valuer has to keep in mind that the report, like a painting, sculpture, and architecture, is an art form. It should be pleasing in appearance and precise in content. Yes, definitely we know that if it is a precise and it will be a good, means pleasing, definitely non-technical person also will have a interest to read it, right? So, and definitely. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
PPT, can you see the PPT? PPT shared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Something is happening with the, that's why. आता मी माझं घेतलं हे. Okay. So it should be in a precise in content. Report on valuation is all, whenever there will be any disturbance or any my voice is not clear, please let me know. Okay, because there is something problem in my connectivity. Okay.
9 to 10:30, 10:30 to 12.
Yes, Jason ji.
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. Report on valuation is always written in a simple language, like an essay, for easy understanding to a non-professional. It should be able to create interest in the mind of a reader to read it from the beginning to the end, like reading a story or a novel. It is therefore necessary that a report should have a certain specific qualities. So yes, what I have told you, we are a technical person. So we know every technical language and technical terms. But with that technical terms also, if we are giving a valuation report to the non-technical person, he should understand that whatever write in that valuation report, and it should be in such a way that it should be in a pleasing in appearance. Now we will start with the qualities of report on a report of on a valuation. What are the qualities? The very first, it should be a orderly and organized. Then it should be in a continuity, properly arranged and definite and concise. Before starting these qualities of report, can you tell me, whenever you are reading any book, what you are saying in that book? Consider it may be a novel, it may be our textbook, or it may be a reference book. How it is? कैसे होता है? Can anybody elaborate this one? Yes, anybody? क्या होता है उसमें, sir? चलो ये भी छोड़ दीजिए, आप मुझे बताइए, our 10th standard or 8th standard we have written an experiment, right? In an experiment that book. So how we are writing? We are writing the name of experiment, then apparatus, then diagram, procedure, then observation table, then calculation, and that the last one is a conclusion, right? So this is a one kind of a report. The same thing we will do in our report, that we will go with the order and organize. Okay, it should be in a paragraph. It should be have a paragraph. So how it is? So now what you will do? You compare. You keep an experiment or you keep a one book in a mind and compare it with the report, right? A report. So you will be easily understand. So very first we will start with this one. That is it, the orderly and organized. The information, data or facts and findings must be then described in a series of paragraphs, and each paragraph needs to be independent and yet logically following the earlier paragraph. Conclusion shall be given at the end. So in our experiment, what we are doing, I have told you the how we will give the how we will write the experiment. So what we are doing that? We are writing a name of an experiment, apparatus, and directly conclusion, then diagram, first calculation, and then observation. No, what we are doing, we are following a paragraph system. Still, later paragraph, it is depend on the first paragraph, right? So that what will happen then, for example, if we are writing a report, then when we are writing the details of any other asset, now I will call it as a any bungalow. So complete detail of a bungalow from the means location. So we will complete like the location, then which if we are writing the it is RCC structure or load bearing structure, detail of that one. So whatever we are writing, everything will be in a paragraph form, and it will be the next paragraph is depend upon the first paragraph. We will write everything, and the last will be the conclusion. So in our case, the conclusion is the fair market value of that particular asset, and that is nothing but the valuation of that asset. Next one is a continuity. In order to maintain continuity of a report while reading, no break should be felt between any of the part of the whole report. It is therefore necessary that schedules, statements, and such other information should not form part of the main body of the report, but instead of it is attached to the report as a appendices or annexure. So now consider that you are writing the location of the particular property. So what is at the you have seen that in a sale deed on north, east, west, south, what is written? Same we will write in the valuation report. So after writing that, don't give any evidence or any particular what we can say what my bhul gayi. So evidences for, I will use the word evidence because I've forgot that word. Okay. So now when you are writing the location of that particular property asset, you are writing the how the building is first floor, ground floor. So don't keep the photographs after that one. What will happen? It will be so for the next one it will be not continued. Someone can be confused and it will be not in a continuity. So instead of that one, what we will do? We will use such photographs, we will use such documents at the end in terms of appendices or annexures. So what we definitely we will give the reference. This is given in this one, but whatever the whatever the format we are adopting and whatever the continuity is there, it will be easy to the person to understand. Definitely, if the one person wants to check that one, so he can check the that location or other things that he wants, he can check in a term in a appendices or annexure. So it should be in a continuity form. So very first, orderly and organized. So you should, now it is depends upon you. So if you are empaneled with the bank have their own format. But other than banks, if you want to give the valuation report, definitely you should have your format. So to decide your format, these are the points that you have to keep in a mind. Okay. So first one is the orderly and organized. Second one is the continuity. Next one is a properly arranged. Report should be arranged in such a manner that a client can easily refer to any particular part of report without any difficulty. Headings and subheadings to paragraphs should be given in such a way that a reader can visualize what it contains. So now first we have seen that it should be orderly arranged. The annex and the supporting should be at the end of in terms of annexure or appendices. Now next one. Now see that whenever you are reading any textbook, reference book or novel also, how it is, very first it is have an index, means chapter number from page 1 to page 10, chapter number 2 likewise. Now this is the index. When chapter number 1 start, it will be 1 point chapter name, then it has its font, right? Font is same. The size, then we are writing an introduction. So chapter number 1, then 1.0 is the introduction. If introduction have any other sub, so 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.3 like, then we are going to the next one. So it will be a 2, then 2.1, 2.2. So likewise, we will point it out everything in a specific manner. And even also we know that when we are using a size for the chapter, we are using a we are using 14 or 16. Then for the introduction, we are using 14, and for regular after in introduction, whatever we are writing, it is in a 12. I'm just giving the sizes. You can do you can adopt any other sizes, but main chance you have to follow these sizes. So you will everyone will come to know that this is a title, this is important important points in that particular title, this is a chapter. For example, location of a property, type of a property, in then details of a property. So it will be have a heading, then subheading. So and their font should be specifically recognized. So and depending upon the where you are writing. So it should be a properly arranged and it should be easily understandable. And the last one is definite and concise. The report should be brief and to the point. The length of the report should just be required to convey forcefully the information, facts, and opinion with reasoning. It should not be too long or too short than required. Definitely, when we are giving the valuation, purpose is very important. Now, if you are giving the purpose is of only visa, okay, for the visa purpose, if you are giving valuation, and if you are giving a 10 pages or 15 pages valuation, no required. It can be of a 3 pages, maximum of a 3 pages. So depending upon the purpose, we will decide the size of a valuation report. So depending upon the purpose, so yes, definitely it is not that if you are giving for the any other purpose and you are completing within 2 pages or 3 pages, no, it is depends upon you, but it should not be too long that one wants to start reading the report and he is not in, so his interest gone. No, precise and concise with a specific, so non-technical person should also understand what is written in that valuation report. So these are the qualities of a report writing. So any question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, purpose of the valuation can affect the value of the asset.
Definitely, simple thing. चलो ये अतुल जी आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा, इसका हम एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? Now consider that there is a one bungalow. Okay, चलो मेरा ही bungalow है. I have a bungalow and I have decided that I want to sell it. Okay, and you are a valuer. I'm coming to you and I'm telling you that please give me the valuation report. You asked me the purpose. I said purpose is for selling purpose. Okay, so you have given me a valuation report as a purpose of selling. Okay. After 2 months, another person comes to you and he asks for the same bungalow, give the valuation. Now, his purpose is to purchase it. My purpose is selling. That person's purpose is purchasing. Now tell me that, will the valuation change? Purpose is changing. My purpose is selling, his purpose is purchasing. So it will be changed. What do you think? आप बताइए, कोई इशू नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. नहीं होगा क्यों? क्यों शिवम जी नहीं होगा?
No, it should not. It should not
Madam,
change
purpose can be changed, but value cannot be changed, no?
Why?
because we are giving an objective value, na. If we are following if we are following the same method,
Okay, but now,
then it should not change. But if it like if
so you
Yeah.
are definitely right. It will not
Purchasing
change.
and purchasing and selling may be different act, but for the assessing the value, the purpose is same to get the fair market value.
You are absolutely correct. And that is the ethic of a valuation profession. For example, if I'm seller, so I'm come to you and I'm saying that as a seller, what I will tell you, give the maximum valuation, right? And the purchaser is coming, what he will say? He will say, give minimum valuation. But without bias mind, we will give the actual valuation of that property. So for selling purpose and purchasing purpose, there will be a no change in the valuation report. Okay.
Ma'am,
Now consider
one
that.
question.
Now
Ma'am,
sir.
Ma'am, but the valuer from both side may be different.
No. If it is a different, then it can be changed. Sir, even also, sir, today, consider that Shivamji, you and me, we are giving a valuation report of a same bungalow today. The figure will not say. It will be a different. But not, it is not like a more 10 lakh, I mean more than 2 lakhs or more than 3 lakhs. No, it can be a figure change up to a 50,000 and all that. But figure will be never same. Okay, that is depends on the experience of and technical knowledge of a value. Okay, so definitely figure will different, but not much difference. With not much difference. Now, what I have told you, selling and purchasing, there will be no change in the valuation. But now I come to you for the same bungalow. Okay, and I
Ma'am,
ask you,
how much difference is
sir 50,000 से 1 लाख इतना ही हो सकता है, उससे ज्यादा नहीं हो सकता सर.
in some cases
Ma'am.
हाँ सर.
Ma'am, here I have a difference of opinion. Usually it is said that as per standard, there should not be much variation between two value
Yes,
of two
so
valuers.
that's why I have given only sir 50,000 थोड़ा फार फर्क पड़ सकता है. योगेश जी, इसके लिए मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. If you
let
heard
me
about
complete
the
now,
video
madam.
call, if you heard about the video call, why Doodh is in the jail? Because all three valuers have given a same figure, and that cannot be possible at any moment. All three valuers of that video con has given a same figure, sir. So definitely it cannot be possible.
Madam, may I say something?
Yeah, definitely, Yogesh ji.
Ma'am, as you have defined that valuation is an art and science. So if it is a science, then the value should be same for by all anybody. But if it is an art, it can have a huge variation.
Sir, art is related with the report writing. Technical
No,
knowledge
madam,
and
valuation itself is an art. It's not
So
the
no,
purpose
sir,
of the,
Yogesh ji.
report writing. Report writing is art, but it is said
Sir,
that
definition of
valuation
value.
process.
Yogesh ji, just listen, sir.
Deep
Sir,
is.
you are saying that it is an art. Art is related with the report writing, and the experience and technical knowledge is related with the to arrive at a one figure. So why it is different? I'm telling you. Simple thing, sir. There are some what we can say physical aspects, legal aspect, right? There are some adopted weightages are given that if age like difference of age is of 10 years and all that one, the adoption of a tables are given. So it is depends upon me. You can take a 5%,
Madam,
I can take a 5.5%. So definitely it is depends upon the technical knowledge and experience of valuer. And again, it is by seeing the market scenario. So Yogesh ji, so this is from me. Now Yogesh ji, tell me. हाँ sir, बोलिए.
Madam, the report writing is itself an art that we have no argument on that. I am just saying that the process of valuation is an art and science both.
How it is that, sir?
Madam, so many books have been written on that. Mr. Namavati, who is considered to be father of the valuation in India, has written that valuation process is an art. So,
So,
what to
no,
argue
sir.
on that? Then,
Sir.
and if it is 100% science, then whoever calculates the valuation, then value should be same. If there is a difference, then means then there must be some art in that.
Sir, when you are using the word art, that art is directly depends upon the experience of valuer. You got it? When you are talking about
Oh,
the
you
art,
agree with
when
that, no? That the valuation is a process, is an art.
it is an art, but when it will become an art, when you have a technical knowledge. So tell me that if simple thing, Yogesh ji, is other than a civil engineer and architect, or other than the engineers, if some BA become person will come and he is a no other art, means giving the any other things, can he give the valuation report? Definitely not. That
That
art
is
is
the question of
art
signing
is
authority, madam.
no, that's why I'm telling that is a art related with the technical knowledge and experience. So that's why it is called as an art, because if I'm giving my first assignment or my first valuation report, and if I'm giving my 100th valuation report or 500th valuation report, person I'm a same. I'm a technical person, I'm a valuer, and it is an art. Okay, but still, for my first valuation report and my 50th valuation report and 100th valuation report will change with the art, with the experience, and my technical knowledge is also going on increasing and increasing. So definitely my valuation report will be continuously in a process that it is changing, but it will be possible only when I have an experience and I have a technical knowledge. Yes, definitely it is an art, but art related with the technical knowledge and experience, not only the art. Okay.
Okay.
Can I have small doubt? Can I
Yes,
ask?
sir. Yes, sir.
This is Satya. Yeah, ma'am. The value in valuation, government value is different and market value is different, right? Hello.
हाँ बोलिए sir.
Yeah. Government value is different and market value is different. So how it will come same valuation? Like I can, if I inquire, I will get a 50,000. Some others say 40,000. So how can I get the accurate value?
Sir, देखिए, when you are talking about sale deed value, it is directly upon the guideline rate of that area.
Yes.
So it will be a same, right?
Yes.
But when
Yes.
as a valuer, we are giving a valuation, we are giving by the market scenario, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So to pay a stamp duty,
Hello.
definitely we will go by the guideline rates.
Ma'am,
No,
Yes,
but if someone is purchasing that bungalow, they will buy with a market value, not government
Yes.
guideline value, right?
Yes, sir.
So how we can judge? I mean, so sometimes so that the differentiation will come
What?
for
Pardon, sir?
purchasing and selling.
Pardon, sir?
That differentiation will come for purchasing and selling, right?
Sir, we will take a simple example, Satyaji. Okay? So it will be clear to you. Consider
Yeah.
that there is a one bungalow. Okay? In that area, guideline rate is 5,000 rupees per square feet. Okay? Simple.
Okay.
Okay. Composite rate. And market rate, it is a 8,000 rupees per square feet. Here what happened?
Okay.
Guideline rate is less than the market rate.
Market
Now,
rate, yes.
Satyaji, you are the owner of bungalow. Okay. And I am a purchaser. When I am coming to you, are you giving me that bungalow by 5,000 rupees per square feet or 8,000 rupees per square feet? क्या लोगे मेरे
Sometimes
से?
Yeah, average I will give you, sir.
No,
We
no,
will
sir.
give you.
Why you will take a, why you will be in a loss? If market scenario says that in that area, your property can fetch 8,000 rupees per square feet, definitely you will go for that one. Okay. Now, I will pay 8,000 rupees per square feet. But when I want to pay a stamp duty, minimum amount should be from 5,000 rupees per square feet. Now,
Yes.
I can show 8,000 rupees per square feet also. But now, when I'm generally, what happening? The people are paying a stamp duty only on a guideline rate. So that value, sale deed value will be the different, but the market value is 8,000 rupees per square feet. Okay. Same thing. Now I will change, Satyaji. Consider that the guideline rate in that area is 8,000 rupees per square feet, and the market rate is 6,000 rupees per square feet, because that area becomes sensitive and abruptly the market value in that area is decreased from 10,000 to 6,000. Now today's scenario says that guideline rate is 8,000, market rate is 6,000. Now when
Yes.
I want to purchase it, definitely I will not give 8,000 rupees per square feet. I will give it
Yes.
for 6,000 rupees per square feet. But the guideline rates are declared by the government. So in that government guideline, it will be the same. But still I have to pay a sale deed value considering the 8,000 rupees only.
8,000.
But I will not pay you 8,000 rupees per square feet. I will pay you 6,000 rupees per square feet only. Not only me, every purchaser. Okay. So that is the difference between the market scenario and the guideline, means market rate and guideline rate. Satyaji, got it clear?
Ma'am, how we adapt the market value?
So that you have to learn. Na? It will come in your next sessions. Income approach,
Okay,
market
done,
approach,
done,
and cost approach. It will be more clear to you in detail.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. But your point is, your query is clear, sir?
Clear, ma'am. Clear. Thank you.
Any question from anyone? Yes, Yogesh ji, then Jason ji, Atul ji, Shivam sir, Shilpa ma'am.
Ma'am, someone has asked that does the purpose of valuation changes the
So
value?
come to that one. Okay, Yogesh ji, come to that one.
Let me complete, madam. Here we have you have given an example that the guideline value is say XYZ. Say you just said that it is 5,000 rupees per square feet and market value is 8,000 rupees square feet. Here in first case, the purpose of valuation is to collect the revenue on the transaction. So for the purpose of transaction, it was 5,000 rupees per square feet, and the value changes. The purpose has changed. Selling and purchasing, it has come to 8,000 rupees per square feet. So when purpose changes, the value changes like this. Just I want to summarize like that, sir.
You are absolutely correct. So I'm coming to that one. Sir, what we have seen that first I have given an example of a selling and purchasing. So when purpose is selling and purchasing, in that particular time, the value of that property by the particular value will not change. Now same bungalow, I own that bungalow. Now after 3 months, I'm coming to you, or within 1 month or 2 months, I'm coming to you, and now I'm saying that I'm not interested to sell it. So I want to take an insurance of that my bungalow. Now my purpose is changed. First, my purpose was for the purchasing. So you have given the me valuation before 1 month. After 1 month, I'm coming to you. There will be no change in the market scenario. Market scenario is same. Nothing is changed after 1 month. And now I'm coming to you and I'm asking that give the valuation. The purpose is insurance. Okay. Property is same. Market scenario is not changed. Valuer is not changed. Owner is not changed. Now tell me, will the valuation change?
Not too much.
Atul ji is saying not too much. What about Yogesh ji? Yogesh ji, what do you think?
Definitely changes, madam.
It will be definitely changed. What about Shivam ji? What do you think?
Could you please repeat the question?
ना ना मैं फिर से रिपीट नहीं करूंगी, बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चन बड़ा बोल दिया था मैंने.
I think it will not change, but I that is why I have a doubt in the question.
हाँ पूछिए क्या डाउट है?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, the valuer is same, the purposes
हाँ.
are different, right?
Purpose is changing. Selling
हाँ.
purpose, and now it is an insurance purpose.
No, it should not change.
Okay,
It
very
should not.
precisely I will tell you. Very first,
insurance
we
purpose.
are getting
But
insurance only on a building, not
yes,
on a
ma'am, for the
land.
land.
And
On,
even also we have to exclude the foundation, right? So now whenever the purpose is insurance, I will give only depreciated value of a building excluding foundation. So now tell me that definitely it will change. Now, if you are not writing the purpose of valuation and two reports come to in a third person, bhai, valuer is same, party is same, purpose is change, purpose is not written. Why there are two values? One value is at a higher side because land value is also included. So to justify that one, we should have we should compulsorily write the purpose of valuation in valuation report. So now clear how the purpose changes, valuation is changes. And also Yogesh ji has given one example related with the revenue. Definitely purpose changes, valuation changes. So that's why compulsorily we have to write the purpose of valuation. Okay?
Ma'am,
हाँ sir.
government guideline may change for the
होता
same
है सर.
property.
हाँ, अगर मैंने वही बोला ना, जब मैंने सेकंड एग्जांपल दिया था तो मैंने बताया कि विदिन 2 years that area becomes sensitive and that's why its market rate goes down, but guideline rate is as it is same. When it will change, then we have to see the market. That's why we are talking, we will give the valuation considering the market scenario, right? Before 2 years, the value of that bungalow is at a higher side because that area is become sensitive. Market value is decreased, and that's why we will give the valuation considering the market scenario. Okay?
Ma'am,
Huh?
when we are valuing for acres of land,
Mm-hmm.
then government guideline value may change.
Sir, when it is depends, it is non-developed land. So we have to go by the different methods. Again, we will go by the market scenario only, sir.
Ma'am, government guideline value for government guideline value only.
Pardon, sir? I'm not getting your question.
Ma'am, guideline values be taken from the prescribed format. And we have to written guideline value in our valuation. But some part of that client
Means you want to say that if it is the purpose is a land acquisition or simple purpose?
Ma'am, simple purpose.
Sir,
For
simple
for mortgaging the property, some part of that land
Sir, for mortgaging property, first we have to see that it is a developed land or undeveloped land. And depending upon, we will give that valuation, sir.
Ma'am, some part of that property on the road and other
It
from
is
the
going
back
away. Yes, yes, definitely, sir. In that case, some part of that land which is having a frontage to the road, it will fetch a more value. As you are going away from the road, we have to change the market. We have to change the rates, sir, depending upon the depth or depending upon the planning. Okay.
Okay.
So definitely, if you are talking about the big size plot having a frontage and depth is a very high, in that case, definitely as you are going away from the road, that portion will loses its market value and it will goes down. Okay.
Then how we calculate?
Sir, it will be in a market approach. Don't worry. So it will be more clear to in that. Okay, it has a complete 3.5 hours session, sir.
Okay.
So shall we continue now? Okay. So next one is general structure of valuation report. Parts of report. First one is the instruction, then purpose of valuation, executive summary, collection of data and narration of facts, analysis of information and data, and the conclusion. And the supporting materials, that is statements, table, charts, graphs, plans, maps, photographs, etc., forming annexure to the main descriptive report. And report shall also include basis or premise and its definition, assumption and limitations. शिवम जी आप चाय पी रहे हो? Method of valuation adopted and caveats. हमें भी चाय पीनी पड़ेगी ऐसे तो. ठीक है? So parts of report, this one, and not when what I have told you, we are giving a valuation, and now when we are signing a one valuation report means we are taking one liability on us. So it should also include all these important points. How we will go through that one? So basis, premise, and its definition. Supreme Court of India has held that market value, Atulji dekhiye, market value must satisfy the willing buyer and the willing seller concept. Similar view is expressed by the Law Commission of India in their report of the year 1958. In cases where the value estimated is different from the standard definition, it must necessarily be clearly defined in a report. So we are always going by the regular methods, IBS or Indian standard, right? But if we are using another, so definitely we should write that we are taking a help of this method other than this one. Now, very first, basis and premises and its definition. Now, second one is assumptions and limitations. Limiting conditions will mostly arise in collection of information and data where valuer is unable to collect and verify the same. If there are any limiting conditions regarding the use of report, then they must be clearly mentioned. Again, very important, write down the purpose of valuation. So that is the limiting condition, and we will also write that this valuation report is only used for the visa purpose, not for the bank. Same thing, if you want to write this purpose of a valuation and it should be used only for this purpose, write down this limiting condition, and please write down in every report the limiting condition. Sometimes what happened in my case is also one time what happened, someone wants a valuation report and he has given me every document. Okay, share transfer certificate, then municipal profit means taxes.
Ma'am, what happened when, ma'am?
Sir.
What happened when I value for the other state where I don't know the conditions, then what should I do?
You should take a help of another valuer in that area, sir. Definitely you should take it that. For our sake of safety, sir. Even also, I'm telling you technical, sometimes there are number of social aspects also. If someone from a west side of India or north side of India going to the south part, even also we don't know the cultures, we know the social. So that's why we have to go through all this one. So definitely, yes, sir. Even also, if I got sometimes number of people ask me out of Gujarat, I'm not taking that one. Sometimes one has asked me for the valuation to give it in Indore. I'm not giving. If you have a capacity, you can give it that one. But I have limited my conditions. I can have a capacity to say no for some assignments. Okay. Now it is up to you. But at least if you are giving, take a help of a valuer. Okay, now coming to the limiting condition again. So what happened in my case? The sale deed is not available. But share transfer certificate, then electricity bill, then municipal taxes bill, everything, even Raja Chetty, everything he has given me. But sale deed is missed. sale deed is not available with him. So what I have done, I have write that sale deed is not available, but I have given valuation on these documents. So I have given this limiting condition and I have mentioned it in the valuation report. So meaning is not that one you don't have a sale deed and not any document is available and you will write all these documents are not available, still I am giving the evaluation. So it will not a legal one. It can be possible sometimes some documents are not available, other documents are available. From that one, we can easily understand, yes, this is the actual owner. Definitely, we will write this limiting condition in our valuation report and we will give the valuation report. So that are the assumptions and limitations. Sometimes what happens, sale instances are not available in that area. So we have to take a help of a newspaper or brokers or even also the website. So we should also write that there is no sale instances available. So we have taken a help of these things. And upon that one, we are giving the valuation. So this will come under the assumptions and limitations. But we cannot write that without any document. We don't have any document. Still, we are giving the valuation. It cannot be an assumption or it cannot be a limitation. Okay?
Ma'am, one question.
Hmm.
Ma'am, is we responsible for the legalities of the property?
Sir, when you are going, yes, definitely, sir, because we have to go through the technical aspects also. But when we are talking about the bank legal sale are seeing all these things, and then the assignment comes to us. Still, we will go through that one. Definitely, sir. Technical is the very important. Legal before that one, legal is very important. First, we will say that property is fulfilling all legal aspects, and then we will give the valuation. Yes, sir. Very important. Because fraud cases are done in that one only, and then we will become we will have a case or lawsuit on us, sir. Definitely. Even also bank is taking undertaking from declaration or undertaking from us that you are responsible for that valuation report.
Ma'am, what search report made by the other party, then he is not responsible for that. On the basis
Other
of
party
their,
means I'm not getting your question, sir.
ma'am, on the basis of search report which is made by some authorized person from the bank, be made
When you are
valuation.
talking about Atulji, when you are talking about the bank, definitely it will come to you only when all the legal, that property is fulfilling all legal aspects. Still, for the sake of safety, for us, we will definitely go through the all legal aspects, sir. Why should you rely on a bank also or any? There can be a mistake from a person also, right? So don't take any chance.
Okay.
Next one is method of valuation to be adopted. The selection of a method of evaluation is the prerogative of the valuer based on the facts and circumstances of each case. The valuer shall select appropriate method of valuation. Valuation of a tangible assets involves three basic approaches: market approach, income approach, cost approach. So here we will use our technical knowledge. For example, someone comes to you and he wants a valuation of his bungalow. The very first step we will categorize its building. So in our real estate, there are three categories: income fetching marketable property, non-income fetching marketable property, non-income fetching non-marketable property. Upon that one, income approach, market approach, and cost approach is there. So for example, consider that there is a one bungalow. Person is coming to you, give the valuation of this bungalow. So if he is living in that bungalow, or he has kept that bungalow vacant, not given on a rent or lease, we will go by the market approach. If he has given that bungalow on a rent or on a lease, we will go by the income approach. And if we want to give the valuation of a government buildings like a public administrative building, like a fire station बोल दो, या public administrative building बोल दो, gram panchayat building, school or colleges, government school, government colleges, if we want to give the valuation of a such properties, we will give by the cost approach. So very first we have to categorize the building and then we will decide by which approach we will give the valuation. So we have to choose the method of valuation to be adopted. Yes, definitely. But to cross check, you can take another method for the cross checking. But we will give the value, we will write by which approach or by which method we are giving the valuation. So there are three methods: market, income, and cost. So next one is a caveats. Caveats are essential part of instruction. Setting limits to the extent of a contract between the parties. Caveats are especially in respect of confidentiality, physical information, and special circumstances. So when we are talking about the report writing, we are a human, right? We should have some limiting conditions, because if you are talking about the task related with the report, it is a there is no limit. So there should be some limit which is in terms of a caveat. Caveat means warning or some provisions of a specific stipulations, condition, and or limitations. So we should write all that one, all caveats, that we will see that, because we have to restrict our responsibility, and that will come under the caveats. So confidentiality, physical information, and special circumstances. First one, confidentiality. In giving and accepting instructions, a contract has been created whereby a professional owes certain duty to the client. It is necessary to make the extent of such liability clear, limited to the client only. So what should we write in a valuation report under confidentiality? First we will say, it should be stated in the report that the report is confidential to the client for specific purpose to which it relates. So we will write the specific purpose. Even also we will write this is only for that purpose only. It may be disclosed to other professional advisors assisting the client in respect of that purpose only. But the client shall not disclose the report to any other person. We will write that one, because you know that in our market scenario, clients are misusing the valuation report, and also they are very clever. So to avoid the responsibility of ours, we will write this caveat. Next, no responsibility can be accepted by any third party, including the professional advisor, in respect of a whole or part of the report. Then the valuer does not agree any appearance or giving testimony, evidence in any court, any hearing, or any other proceedings by reason of rendering this report unless prior arrangements have been made in that respect. Jana to padega, but you should get a time and then you will appear to the court for the testimony or evidence. Yes, definitely. That's why what I have told you, keep all the evidences and all supportings with you. Even from the each and every document, when you are visiting the site, take a photographs, take an actual area of that property, then go through the all rules and regulations in that area by the local authorities, central government, state government, and upon that one give the valuation. The first one is a confidentiality. Second is the physical. Sir?
Document taken from the client is signed or self signed, or normal copy is
Means if you are taking a Xerox,
yeah, Xerox, but signed copy or only Xerox is
no, if it is self-assisted, very good. Take a self-assisted. Means clients assisted, take it that. Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay.
सर अतुल जी आप समझिए, आप एक रिपोर्ट दे रहे हैं ना, तो समझ के चलने का इसके आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है लॉग एक ईच एंड एवरी रिपोर्ट को। तो जितना आप खुद को सेव कर सकते हो ऐसे सब डॉक्यूमेंट्स लीजिए और जो आपको प्रोसीजर करनी वो कीजिए फॉर द सेक ऑफ आवर सेफ्टी सर। Next one is a physical. A detailed inspection of the asset to be valued is a must for a valuer. However, even after carrying out the most searching and the comprehensive site inspection and investigation, latent defect means defect which cannot be normally revealed even after thorough search of record and site inspection will remain hidden. A valuer can be further protected by stating that no investigations were possible for latent defect, if any. So definitely as a valuer, as a civil engineer or as an architect related with the real estate property, definitely we can understand the some defects. We can see it with naked eyes. But definitely sometimes which cannot see with the naked eye. But our instinct says that it may be possible there will be a such effect in a coming years or in futures. So definitely we should write such a, means under the caveat that there are some latent defect and their further investigation is required. So definitely we should write that one, right? Because yes, definitely we can understand by seeing physically the particular property. In case a valuer comes to know from the inspection and going through the records, more detailed investigation and analysis are essential, then same can be reported, advising the clients to further look into such aspects. But definitely, we should write if there will be some latent defect and if more investigation is required, we definitely will write in the our valuation report. Next one is information. In carrying out the work as per instruction, several types of data and information are required to be collected from various sources. While data and information regarding physical condition of the asset, fixed asset record, record of maintenance, licenses to run the hotel, nursing homes, and such other properties are collected at the time of a site inspection. The data regarding sale prices, etc., are collected from the market sources and clients, and all such data should be verified. Further, it is advisable to quote the source of information such as in the report that I have told you. The sale instances are not available, so I have taken a help of a website, newspaper and brokers, and upon that one, I have given the valuation. It should be in a written form. A valuer interprets legal and statutory documents on the basis of his academic and professional education in valuation. So yes, this is related with the caveats information. Now next one is a caveat are for preventing. What are the caveats related with the preventing? First one, liability to third parties and misuse of a report by a client or other. So why we are giving these caveats? First one, to reduce our responsibility. And also to limit the responsibilities of a valuer in respect of the quality of information supplied by others, as well as for finer points of law. The task being limitless, to set limitations to the task. So yes, valuation task is limitless. So we have to limit our work, and upon that, for that one, we are giving a caveats, we are giving assumptions, we are giving limitations. It is in a writing in a valuation report, but it should be a legal. We don't have any valuation, any documents till we are doing the valuation. It's not possible. If one document is not available, but other documents are available, definitely which is not available, we should write. Now, what is the duty of valuer? The duty of valuer is completely and understandably set forth the valuation in a manner that will not be misleading. Provide sufficient information to fully understand its data, reasoning, analysis, and assumptions and limiting conditions. Okay, so this is duty of, because if non-technical person is reading that one, definitely it will be helpful to us. So up to this one, any question?
Ma'am, one question related to diversion. Can diversion enhance the value of property?
Diversion means what, sir?
Ma'am, generally land is diverted agricultural use, and be diverted it for commercial use. Then value of the land may change.
Definitely, sir. If you will compare the residential land, agricultural land, commercial and industrial, definitely by the land use, the valuation will change. Even also when we are paying the property taxes and all that one, land taxes, it is changed, sir, because of its utility, sir. Yes. So we have to go through that. Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
हाँ सर.
मैम some person
दो एडजॉइनिंग प्रॉपर्टी जो अभी आपने लास्ट क्वेश्चन में किया, तो डाइवर्जन से वैल्यू चेंज होती है क्या?
I'm not, diversion means, sir, देखिए अब
land use.
You know that the if we are talking about the developed area, if it is a residential one, it cannot be converted into the industrial one, right? That is the zoning law. Commercial, if it can be converted into the commercial, so we have to see that it is legally, can it be legally converted into the commercial one? If it is, definitely we will do that one. And if legally converted into the commercial, definitely its value get changed, right? So first point of valuation is we should attend the HABU, highest and best use, but still related with the legality. Yes, Yogesh ji.
Madam, there are two adjoining lands at the outskirts of the city. One is diverted and another is not diverted. The second one can also be diverted, but it is not diverted as on date. So, will the value of both the adjoining land changes? Sir, aspect is changing.
It is an agricultural land, sir, right? And it is
but it is in a zone, it can be converted.
Huh?
Both the land can be diversified for the purpose of, but one is diversified and another is not diversified.
Okay, sir. So now we have to see that if it is legally diverted and it have a documents, ultimately we will, but sir, we have to see the in which area it is. We will see the area, nearby area, and upon that one we have to decide, sir.
Ma'am,
so
I just wanted to say
that
go
to there,
the
I have
only
to
difference
visit
is
there,
that,
and I have to see that.
Ma'am,
Sir, I will give Yogesh, I will give one example. In the last 1 month, I have visited one area in outskirts of my city. Number of industrial properties are going on increasing, and they are constructing an industrial property. So as it is declared as a industrial area, no, sir, it is not declared as an industrial area, but they are getting permission to construct an industrial area in that area, which is little bit outskirts from the some small village, right? So in that case, we have to see that if everything is in industrial area, same thing if it is a commercial area. So accordingly, we have to go. Now, your question is one land is diversified and another land is not diversified, right? So in
diverted
that
or undiverted?
Diverted or not diverted? Now tell me that when which is diverted. Now it is a developed land, undeveloped land. If it is a one portion of a land, we will see in nearby area what is going on. If it is a residential one and it is converted into the residential one, definitely according to we will go that. If it is an agricultural and agricultural activities
ma'am,
are going on.
ma'am,
Huh, sir.
ma'am, this plot is on the in the market, and we have to evaluation for in the two part for the brothers. Then one part is diverted and others is not. Then what will be the valuation?
Sir, if it is no NA, if it is not converted, which is not converted as a NA, we have to consider it as a agricultural land. Accordingly, agricultural valuer will give the valuation. One is converted, not it is converted NA. Definitely, accordingly, we will go that by that. But it in the within city, it is possible that there is a one land which is not which is a non-agricultural land. This is possibility is generally in the outskirt of the cities only, sir. Within the city, it cannot be possible.
Ma'am, it is possible in Gadrawara, where I am.
Where, sir?
Gadrawara in MP.
MP. You are living in a tier 2 city?
Yeah, ma'am.
It's tier 4 city, madam.
Huh?
Tehsil.
It's tier 4 city, not.
If it is in a tier 4 city, sir, you will see that it may be possible in tier 4 cities. There are some residential areas and they're having agriculture areas, residential area, agricultural area, right? So if two brothers wants to change, and definitely, sir, the agricultural land will be go by the agricultural.
Actually, agricultural land, residential land and commercial land.
Yes, but if that commercial land is converted legally, sir.
Yeah, legally.
So then you have to attend the HABO only. Commercial will be the commercial and residential will be the residential, sir, compulsorily. But now it may be possible that
but the plots are adjacent. Plots are adjacent. One is residentially diverted and other is converted for commercial. Then what is the valuation of the property?
Sir, we will for the commercial we will go by the commercial, sir. Why we will go by the residential? अगर आप रेसिडेंशियल का कमर्शियल का रेसिडेंशियल में जाएंगे तो आपको मैक्सिमम मिलेगा ही नहीं. You know that.
मैडम मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ.
Definitely we will go by that one. Yes, नीरव जी.
मैडम गवर्नमेंट की जो जंतरी होती है ना, उसमें भी सेम सर्वे नंबर का 3 पार्ट में प्राइस होता है. एग्रीकल्चर, नॉन एग्रीकल्चर और रेसिडेंट और कॉमर्शियल. तो उसमें भी वो सब उसका प्राइस डिफरेंट ही लगाते हैं. तो कोई बात नहीं, उसमें हाँ एडजॉइंट होता है तो उसका डिफरेंस वैल्यू रहता है, और जो एग्रीकल्चर है उसका डिफरेंट रहता है. तो इससे कोई इश्यू नहीं है, वो आप अपने तरीके से वैल्यूएशन निकाल सकते हैं और वो कहीं भी हो सकता है.
नीरज जी, मैं वही कहना चाहती हूँ.
गवर्नमेंट भी अपना प्राइस डिफरेंट आता है.
हाँ, तो मैं वही बोला हमको कि ना कि डिफरेंट ही आएगा ना, क्योंकि अगर कोई नाउ इफ वन एरिया इज कन्वर्टेड कमर्शियली लीगली, दैट मीन दैट एरिया इज लीगली कन्वर्टेड, सो इट कैन फेच अ कमर्शियल वन, राइट? सो वी हैव टू गो अकॉर्डिंगली, सर. बट अतुल जी, जब आप बात कर रहे हो तो वहां पे आपके पास लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट्स होने चाहिए कि आपको उसका मंजूरी मिली कि इट कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू द कमर्शियल. देन ओनली यू विल गिव. एंड इफ इट इज नॉट देयर, ultimate, and in that case you cannot give valuation considering the commercial one, right?
Ma'am, but for bigger plot like square feet, this value increases very high. And
now, sir, when you are talking about the commercial, you have to see that what is the frontage, how much the length is available to the frontage, what is the width. Accordingly, we have to go. We cannot that this means if you have a specific size and all that one, so definitely we can talk about that one. But when you are talking about the commercial, you have to go in detail. If you are saying that 1,000 square feet of a land is there, what is the size of that land? What is the frontage? How it is converted commercial? Why it is converted commercial? It is residential or not? It is near to where place? We have to go in detail in that one.
Okay.
Then only I can give the answer of that question, sir. Even also I have to see the nearby area also. Not only on this one. But again, I am repeating, if you have a legal documents with you, then accordingly we will give the valuation.
Ma'am, for the same condition, the plot is outside the city. Then what will happen?
I'm not getting your question.
Okay, ma'am. Please continue.
So that's why already Neeraj has given the answer that every utility has given the guideline rates. Government jantri rates are already given. So we have to go that. But am I right, Neeraj?
यस मैडम,
Yes.
वो जंतरी रेट वो हर 2-3 साल में हमारे यहाँ गुजरात में चेंज ही करते रहते
सर
हैं।
मैंने जो एग्जांपल दिया ना सर, मैंने खेड़ा का दिया। खेड़ा में आप देखोगे आउटस्कर्ट ऑफ द खेड़ा नंबर ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया हो गए हैं। So in that case, I have asked them that, do you have any documents? So no, they don't have any document that, but I missed that section. Under that section, government has given a right to them that they can construct industrial buildings, industrial factories in there, and they can run the industrial factories. I missed that section, but under that section, government has given the permission to construct an industrial factory. So at that time, if that section, if that legal document is with me of a government, definitely if I want to give the valuation of such industrial property, I can definitely give the by considering the industrial property only, right? Because they have a legal documents with them.
Ma'am, people generally use that property as a collateral for the loan. They diverted the land and use for collateral. That's why I am asking.
So that's why now, if they are using it for the mortgage or any loan, it is duty of us to go in detail. Now tell me that if we are not paying attention to that one, and in coming 3 years, if it will become an NPA, then what will happen? Who is responsible? Manager will change. Who will responsible for that one?
I am responsible.
You are responsible for that one, right? So that's why what I have told you, all evidences. That's why very first I have told you, I have a capacity to say no for such works where I have a doubt, right? Because I am not a person.
I am responsible, but the guideline value enhances our valuation report. So we have to take lesser than guideline value for the safety, I think.
Guideline नहीं सर, अब अगर वो बोल रहे तो it depends upon the policies of banks, right? अब आप बैंक के लिए मॉर्गेज के लिए कर रहे हो तो वो आपको बताएगा मैंने, लेकिन आप मुझे सिंपल सा बताइए गाइडलाइन रेट से होगा। कभी कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि गाइडलाइन ज्यादा है मार्केट रेट से, तो आप क्या करोगे? तो आपको देखना तो पड़ेगा ना तुल जी। That's why I have told you we have to go through in detail, and then we will give the valuation. Even also, if you want to ask me question, I will not give the answer for such tricky or such thoda sa confusing.
Some banks goes through government guideline value.
Sir,
okay.
Sir, you are using the word bank.
Okay.
But it is related, it is the relation between valuer and manager, then circumstances changes in practice. If someone is in a practice, everyone know that. What is the scenario in a market?
But ma'am, manager will change in 3 years.
So that's why what I have told you, whose responsibility is one? It is our responsibility. And bank is so that's why what I'm saying, be precise, be confident. But for each, even yesterday also what I have told you, whatever the single word you are writing in the valuation report, any figure you are writing in a valuation report, keep the evidences and material and supportings with you, right? So सोच के ही चले भाई, आगे जाके कुछ भी हो सकते हैं, आज से हम खुद को सेव कर रहे हैं. So very important, sir, very.
Okay, thank you.
And in our profession, negligence is also not allowed. आपके negligence से क्या हो सकता है? डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ आपने कल ही पढ़ा होगा ना लॉ में, डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ
मैम
क्या है?
मैम such cases definitely get NP because he knows that the property of the land is not that we valued.
सो हमें सेफ्टी रहना है, मैनेजर तो आते जाते रहेंगे, हमें सेफ होना है, ओके. The services of valuers are mainly required for fiscal purpose, non-fiscal purpose. Fiscal purpose means related with the taxes to the government. Okay, so what are the fiscal purposes? Levy of taxes such as municipal taxes on a land and building collected by local self-government, stamp duty collected by state governments on a documents for the transfer of properties, income tax, capital gain, in any other purpose not referred above. So to levy the taxes, it is come under the fiscal purpose. Non-fiscal purposes.
Ma'am, capital how can we calculate, because in the documents they not show the exact amount of the purchasing, then how we can calculate the
Sir, yesterday we already talked about this one. I have given in detail. We have to calculate the index value and we have to see the sale value. Sir, right? And sometimes what happens, I will give the example of a capital gain in one area of a Mumbai where guideline rate is less than the, market rate is less than the guideline rate. So people, and also in that case, the people sold that for a market rate. And definitely there is no capital gain, but there is a notice to that person that they have to pay a capital gain because the calculation is done by the calculation is done by the guideline rate, right? So sometimes it happens, sir. So definitely in market scenario, number of chances, number of circumstances are different. And definitely, though they don't have any capital gain, they have to, their notice is about to pay a capital gain tax, right? Yes, they have appeal and all that, and other parts are also there. But definitely in such case, in some cases, such can there can be a possibility of such circumstances also. No, non-fiscal purpose, award of compensation for compulsory acquisition of a property for public purpose. Then computation of betterment levies under the town planning laws, valuation of a tangible assets owned by the government of India, state government, public sector undertaking, and statutory bodies like port, trust for privatization, as well as ascertaining return on an investment or current value. Then liquidation of asset for recovery of settlement of a financial disputes by the commissioner, high court, and official liquidator. Computation of a rent at a time of leasing of property and subsequent renewal of leases in government or semi-government organization, as also while fixing mense profit by the court of law, grant and recovery of loans and advances by banks, insurance of immovable and movable property, and any other purpose not referred above. So yesterday we have already seen that fiscal and non-fiscal. Here the bifurcation of a fiscal purpose and non-fiscal purposes is given, nothing but scope to us where valuation report is required or purposes of valuation. The report is divided into two parts, part 1, part 2. Part 1 is the executive summary. Part 2 is the annexures. The executive summary will give the gist of an exercise in about less than, it is a 10 to 15, na beech mein dash reh gaya, 10 to 15 pages, so that it can serve the purpose of the management. Now we will see what should we write, what should be in a content of an executive summary. Identity of the valuer. The later we will give the valuation. First page should be a compulsory letterhead of a valuer. The letterhead of a valuer must show the qualification of valuer to perform the assignment. Date of report.
Ma'am, on the time of inspection, it is necessary to present the owner on the side, or any representative can elaborate us.
So he will not elaborate us. We will go in detail. We will take photographs. Yes. So owner should be there. Huh.
Boundaries. Boundaries. How we can write?
Which one
South,
boundary,
north,
sir?
east, west, north, south.
Sir, if we are talking about the flat, if there will be a construction, some more construction encroachment is done, the gallery is taken inside, that we can easily understand. Na? So we will take actual construction. We will see actual sanction plans. Sir.
Okay.
Then date of report, the date on which report is submitted, instructions, the term of reference by the client showing details of the property to be valued with the location, date, the date on which the value of property is required, which is most of the cases prior to the date of report. Then purpose, important, the purpose for which instruction is given, it may be insurance, sale, purchase, etc. The checklist submitted and information received. The definition of a market value used to suit the terms of reference, basis of valuation means what we will do, which we will go through the all documents, we will go through the all in detail of that particular property. Upon that one, we will categorize the property and which method we will adopt. It may be a income approach, market approach, or cost approach, depending upon the category of a property, we will decide. Then procedure adopted, how the exercise is done. So if it is a market approach, what procedure you have done? For income approach, for cost approach, we will write the how we have given the valuation. That is cost income market approach. Then next we will write assumptions and limiting conditions. In this part, valuer shall discuss the limiting conditions under which the assignment is performed and assumptions made for such limiting conditions. So definitely we will write if we have a limitations, we have a caveats, definitely we will write, and summary of valuation. Summary of valuation is nothing but the conclusion, that is what value estimated, fair market value estimated. Annexure will include details of property value along with supporting documents used in estimating the value. The values of real estate have to encounter properties falling under the following category. Open land may what will include? Open land are for residential, commercial, industrial. It is freehold or leasehold. Freehold means owned by the owner. Leasehold means given on a lease to the other person. Built up property. Huh, sir?
Open land can be mortgaged or not?
Yes, it can be mortgaged.
It is compulsory to fencing or open land can be considered for the valuation.
सर फेंसिंग होना चाहिए ना सर, फेंसिंग अगर कैसे करोगे आप?
Okay.
Residential property other than apartment, commercial property, office building.
In the colonies, someone is buying a plot. He is not doing fencing. Before purchasing, she or he wants to get valuation. Then what should we do?
The property card is there, Satbar extract is there. We have to see that. Number of checklists, essential checklists are there.
Okay.
So now tell me that non-technical person wants to purchase that property. वो अकेले जाएगा कि कोई expert person लेके जाएगा? Expert person तो लगेगा ना sir, no? Without which how we will purchase the property? Oh, sorry, not property, purchase the land, open land. The residential ownership apartments in a multi-storied building, office premises in a multi-story commercial building, industrial premises in a multi-story industrial building, shops on a ground floors on a multi-story commercial building. It will come under the built-up properties. And the following approaches to value the are income approach, sales comparison method means market approach, and the last one is a cost approach. So again, it will be in detail in each approach is having a weightage of 7 marks. So 21 marks, and upon these approaches, the case studies are there having a weightage of 26 marks. So this is completely all about the report writing. Any question for the report writing?
Ma'am,
हाँ sir.
Boundaries of the plot or property is necessary to in writing our report.
I'm not sir. मुझे नहीं पता आप क्या बोल रहे हो sir.
Ma'am, in the south road, my backside is Mr. Pradhanji, XYZ. It is necessary to mention in the report or not?
Definitely sir, it should be compulsorily mentioned. You should mention that one.
But ma'am, how we can justify that he is saying right or wrong?
Sir, how justify that? No, you will go there and you will decide. You will see that what is in a west, what is in a south, what is in a east, and whatever you will write, it is a legal one. It is on you, sir, not on that person. You
Ma'am,
have to check that one.
But sometimes it happens that property is legally on the name of his father, but they don't know on the
So
on the
so
visiting
in that
time.
case, there is only in a it is in a fault in a title deed. So you can write that. Then you can also write that one. Ki this is this one. That's why it is not transferred in the name of son. It is continue with the name of his father.
But
You can
ma'am,
write that.
our information, how we get the proper information, this is the problem on the side. It happens
Absolutely,
many.
sir. This is the problem. So that's why we should be very clear. हाँ sir. हाँ नीरव जी, yes yes.
मैडम जो आप वैल्यूएशन जो करना होता है ना, वो उसकी जो फाइल रहती है पूरी, जो वो आपको आप देते हैं वैल्यूअर को, उसमें एक लेआउट नक्शा होता है पूरा, तो
मैंने
जो
वही
भी
बोला ना,
एनए
7
हुआ।
बार एक्सट्रैक्ट होता
हाँ,
है, प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड होता है.
नहीं
That's
नहीं,
why I
वो
told you.
लेआउट होता है ना जो पूरा एनए का, नॉन
Ma'am,
एग्रीकल्चर हुआ
but
उसका,
the
उसके
time
हिसाब
of
से आपको
purchasing.
फाइंड करना पड़ता है।
अतुल जी को मैं वही कह रही हूँ, we are a valuer, we have to do that. No one will do for us. We will do for another person. That's why we should know the technical knowledge. We should have a experience. We should in a detail. So Atul ji, we should. No one other.
But ma'am, sometimes it happens when we go to visit the property, we get some information, and after 3 days, manager go to the property, then their information is differ from us. Then what should we do?
So it should not actually happen, sir.
Ma'am, name.
Can you
name,
give the defer points, sir? Which points are defer, sir?
Ma'am, it happen it happens here that no matlab they name that this property is for the name of father, but we don't have the proper documentation. We can't take from the other person. How can we justify?
Ma'am, if can I intervene?
Yes,
Atul,
yes.
can't you ask for public records? Atul,
Yes, sir.
can't you ask for public records? पटवारी ऑफिस से नहीं मिलेंगे?
सर सिंपल है, मैंने बोला इफ यू हैव अ 7/12 एक्सट्रैक्ट, 7/12 उतारा या प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड, एवरीथिंग विल बी क्लियर बिकॉज इट इज इन अ मैपिंग सिस्टम ओनली. सो 7/12 एक्सट्रैक्ट
अब ऑलमोस्ट पूरा का पूरा डिजिटाइज हो चुका है.
हाँ, मैं कब से वही बता रही हूँ. 7/12 एक्सट्रैक्ट होना चाहिए या प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड होना चाहिए, या इन गुजरात एंड महाराष्ट्र इट इज कॉल्ड एज ए 7/12 उतारा और 7/12 extract. In other state they have a different name. If it is available, it should be available with that person, then and then only. So it may be possible for the 7/12 extract having a different name in different states. But property card, it is we will get the map. We will get in a terms of a map the actual area. Okay?
Atul ji, just have a conversation with the local area Patwari. He will be able to better explain you.
Sir, Patwari, Patwari sometimes not
If
available.
it is open land, then you can have the Patwari trace map from that, and you can also call for the field report.
Yes,
Before
sir.
diversion, there is a compulsory to get the field report, and if not available by the client, then we can ask the client to have the field report.
Ji, okay, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ सर बोलिए.
Also, on the Bhu Abhilekh record in MP, you
Yeah.
can get the adjoining lands detail from the Bhu Abhilekh record website.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Thank you, sir.
we can also have one more thing in this, what Atulji is saying. We do not need to check all those things in a precise way, like we used to get the legal report in advance from the advocate. We can check that that is his work to check all these things, like whose the property is. We just need to see the legal report. If there is no issue, then we can cross check it by when we reach the site, and we can we just focus on the valuation, the technical aspect of the property, what's the cost, and what are the rest of the things.
Govindji,
The
but if you're talking about if it is this assignment is from the bank, but this assignment is individually come to you, definitely we have to go through the all legal assets first. Some consider that instead of a bank, if it is an individual asset to you, so definitely as a you valuer, you
then
have
yes,
to go.
yes,
Yes.
then we have to go.
So that's why the Atulji asking this question.
Okay.
So now, so try to give the, we have already, we are late with the 4 minutes, but still try to give the answers of this question, which can be asked in examination. So question number 1. What should be the first column of a valuation report? Out of 4, A, B, C, D, which one? Yes? It is A or B or C or a D? Ashim is saying yes. A. It's a A. Yes. Second question. Niroju, name of the owner? Yes, name of the owner is there, but still very important. What is the purpose of valuation? Writing a valuation reports requires yes,
It's also
A,
A.
B, C, D.
A.
Hey, I'm muting everyone. Whenever one more wants to give the answer, just unmute yourself, okay? Because number of disturbances is there. Okay, so it will be a technical and communication skill. Yeah, a valuation report is to be written
Only after valuation is completed.
only after valuation is completed. Okay, 7 number. The valuer himself must verify and get satisfied that the evidence and facts stated in the report are
Proven correct.
true or correct, not notional, not all, not approximate. Okay, now next questions. Non-technical reports are
Newspaper or media reports.
news and media reports. So reports on income tax valuation should be furnished in form 1. ये आप याद रखिए. IVS का बाद में आ जाएगा. ठीक है. हाँ. Question number 5. Valuer may not required to give evidences as expert in the court for the following.
Drawing.
Yes. Supporting materials to valuation report are not following.
Payslips.
Payslips of owner. Yes. Okay. So these or थोड़े भी questions है, but I had directly highlighted it, so we will not take that one. So these are all questions. MCQ's question. So this is about the report writing. Okay. Okay. So I have a one format of a one bank. So just see that it is available in internet. I downloaded it from internet only. So it is Andhra Pradesh Gram Vikas Bank. So general, you will see that first highlighted general one. In the number in general, what are the questions? It is given. Then brief description of a property. From it is includes location of a property, postal address, city, town, classification of area, boundaries of property, then characteristics of the size, classification, level and land topographical condition. So you will see that this is all in a tabular form, but with everything is in a, if it is related with the location, all the information related with the location is given in a one under one head. If it is a valuation line of land size, plot, total extent, and this one. So this is a, sorry. So this is a one kind of a valuation report of a for a land and building. So it is downloaded, so you can easily available to you in a internet. Okay, so it is just for your for you to see the value, how the valuation reports of particular banks are there. So upon that one also we can form our own format for other than the bank purposes, right? So this is completely from completely for the report, right? Okay, any question? So
मैम
now we, हाँ सर बोलिए.
मैम फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू, डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू और रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू, ये क्या होता है?
डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू, रिलायजेबल वैल्यू और मार्केट वैल्यू निकाली जाती है. तो और डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू मींस अगर यार कौन सी कंडीशन, अगर आज के आज मुझे बेचना है तो मिनिमम जनरली इट इज 20%, कि 20% लेसर वैल्यू होती है, तो वो डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू होती है कि भाई अगर आज के आज मुझे तुरंत पैसे चाहिए तो मुझे कितने रुपए में बेच सकते हैं, और एटलीस्ट मॉर्गेज कर रहे हैं तो बैंक कितने में मिनिमम में बेच सकती है. तो एटलीस्ट टू डिसाइड द लोन अमाउंट ही होगी डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू. रिलायजेबल वैल्यू इज जनरली म्हणजे आजूबाजू होती है डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू की.
मैम रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू इज ग्रेटर देन डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू.
रियलाइजेबल डिस्ट्रेस वैल्यू से, हाँ सर, इट इज नियर, हाँ.
ओके मैम.
एक मिनट है सर, मैं बंद करके मुझे फिर से करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so now next is what is our next section is on environmental issues. Okay, again it is having a weightage of a 3 marks. Okay, before that one, can we take a 5 minutes break and then we will continue? Okay, so its PPT is shared. Can you see the PPT? Okay, so we'll take a 5 minutes break and we will continue with the environmental issues in valuation. Shall we continue? Everyone is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
So now again, now next session is on environmental issues in evaluation. It is having a weightage of 3 marks, means 3 questions will be asked from this one, this session. In this session, we will complete environmental issues and pollution, outline of environmental legislation, valuation of environmentally affected property, general effects of contamination of property, and environmental valuation technique. So yes, we know that even also in our engineering, it's 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, we have gone through these words: environmental pollution, environmental engineering, environmental science. So some portion will be same, but I will try to brush up that knowledge to you, and then we will go through the other legislations related with the environmental. So what is the definition of environment? Environment means water, air, and land, and the interrelationship that exists between the and amongst these media. That is water, air, and land. And human being, other living being, including microorganisms and property. So what is environment? Environment is the interrelationship between the water, air, and land, and human being and microorganism. So, and we know that environment have a specific percentage of composition. So there are some activities, human activities, by which this percentage of composition changes, and it leads to an environmental pollution. So that activities are rapid industrialization, urbanization, population explosion, modern lifestyle. We are a developing country, so we know that number of industries are going on increasing, and so it is industrialization. People from remote area or other areas coming for the work in the urban areas. So continuously urbanization is going on increasing, and because of that one, population explosion is there, and because of that one, the the pollution is increasing. And the last one is modern lifestyle. Yes, definitely everyone likes a good standard life. There are a number of gadgets, a number of instruments by which the environment gets polluted. So these are some activities by which human activities by which environment get polluted. Environmental pollution means alteration of the composition of the environment, which will have a deleterious effect on human health or quality of a life. So when we are talking about the environmental pollution, which is hazardous to human being. But when we are talking about the pollution or environmentally pollution area, what is the definition related with the real estate or asset? It is the presence of any pollutant in the environment which imparts adverse effect on the marketability of asset. What is meaning by marketability? Marketability means which the property which fulfills all legal aspect and which we can purchase or which we can sell. But if it is a contaminated property or a polluted property, if other options are available which is not polluted or not contaminated, definitely we will buy that property. So what will happen? The marketability of that particular contaminated or polluted property get reduced. So we adverse effect on the marketability of a property or asset. So that is the definition of environmental pollution. Environmental pollutant definition: any solid, liquid, gaseous or other substance present in a such concentration which may be obtained to be injurious to the environment, giving rise to adverse effect on a marketability of asset. So these are the definitions related with the asset. Now there is a one word contamination. So there is a thin line difference between the pollution and contamination. So we will take a simple example. If water is contaminated, it is not a potable water. We cannot use it for the drinking purpose, but we can use it for the flushing or washing of the garages, right? So that is a contaminated water. But if the water is polluted, then we cannot use water for any purpose or any for any use. So that is the thin difference between the contamination and pollution. So there can be a contaminated environment without it being polluted, but there cannot be a polluted environment without it being contaminated. So next step of a contaminated is a pollution. So when we are talking about the definition of an environment, it includes land, water, and air. Accordingly, of environmental pollution is there. The various components of environment are air, water, noise, and land, and correspondingly, the environmental pollution is classified as air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, and land pollution. Some of the pollutants includes gases, metals, and their salts, agrochemicals including pesticides, biomedical waste, heat, vibration, and plastic. Every type of a pollution has its own distinguishing causes and environmental effect to the environmental degradation and destruction and the dangers it brings to the human health. We will go one by one. First one is air pollution. So you will see that in this PPT, I have given some important sections. I have highlighted some important sections and articles which can be asked in examination. Because if we will go through the all legislations of each and every in detail in each and every legislation, it will be it will be time consumed and it is having a weightage of 3 marks. So to avoid that one, what are the questions can be asked or what are the sections or articles are asking in the examination, I have highlighted here. So you can take a help of this, you can read these sections. Okay. So very first we will start. So see here in air pollution, section 2B, section 2A is important. Then water pollution. So we will go through that one. So very first, air pollution, what is the meaning by, what is the definition of? Yes. Any question? Again, I muted everyone. If everyone have a question, can unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay, so now we'll start with the air pollution. Any deleterious change in the composition of the clean atmospheric air is known as a air pollution. This is the definition of a air pollution. So there is a change in the composition of the clean and atmospheric air. So in air pollution, there are two sections important, section 2A and section 2B. In section 2A, the definition of an air pollutant is given, and in section 2B, the definition of air pollution is given. So what is the definition of an air pollutant? Means any solid, liquid or gaseous substance, including noise, present in the atmosphere in a such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to human being or other living creatures or plants or property or environment. But you have to keep in mind, in air pollution, section 2A, it is in section 2A, definition of an air pollutant is given, and in section 2B, definition of an air pollution is given. And it is the presence in the atmosphere of any air pollutant. So section 2A, definition of an air pollutant, section 2B, definition of an air pollution. Next one is the sources of anthropogenic air pollution. Anthropogenic means human-made by the human activities or human-made activities. So there are 4 types of anthropogenic air pollution: stationary sources, community sources, mobile sources, and indoor sources. Example of a stationary sources: mining and quarrying, refineries and chemical factories, power plant, industrial facilities, etc. Community sources is heating of homes and building laundry services. You should know that. Sometimes it can be asked, you have given an example, you have to choose which type of a source is this. Mobile source is related with the vehicles, transportation vehicle, like diesel and gasoline powered automobiles, trains, marine vehicles, aeroplanes, etc. And the indoor sources like tobacco smoking, combustion emission, asbestos, and VOCs. So this is important. What is meaning by anthropogenic air pollution and the sources and their examples. Again, there is a one word that is CPCB. Important. Sometimes ask an examination what is CPCB stands for. So CPCB is Central Pollution Control Board. Okay, and air pollutants which prescribed by CPCB are carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, lead, and ground level ozone. So in this one, you should know what is meaning by anthropogenic, then sources of anthropogenic, types of and their examples, what is CPCB stands for, and which air pollutants are prescribed by CPCB. So you should know these all in the examination point of view. Then next one is a water pollution. When the level of a pollutant in a water is more than the prescribed standard, water is said to be pollutant. So this is a simple definition of a water pollution. And this is a detailed definition of a water pollution. But we will go through only this. When the level of a pollutant in water is more than their prescribed standards, water is to be polluted, said to be polluted. The main pollutant in water includes various chemical compounds. It may be organic or inorganic, oil and grease, silt, then heated water from thermal power plants, fertilizers and pesticides, pathogens present in the domestic wastewater, and gases dissolved in rainwater. So these are the main pollutants in water. Now, very important, whenever we want to give the valuation of a environmentally affected properties, we have to very much concentrate on this air pollution and water pollution, and it is having an effect on a fair market value of a property. Definitely, it is very difficult to convert this into the monetary term, in a money term. But definitely, whenever we want to give the valuation of such a contaminated property, we will keep eyes on this to water pollution and air pollution. So which we will keep in mind for the air pollution? Damage caused to the property by increasing level of air pollutants. The property essentially consists of variety of elements including building made up of a masonry and concrete, ceramics and glass used for decorative finishes, paint used to adorn wall surfaces, curtains and other furnishes made for fabrics. The frequency of a painting of the property increases, leading to an additional cost and reducing the value of such property. The determination of a damage by the air pollution and its impact on a valuation of the asset is extremely complex. But definitely, we have to keep all these points, and definitely when we are talking about the word valuation, we have to convert it into the monetary term. So at the time of giving valuation of such contaminated property, we'll keep eyes on this regarding with the air pollution. Now, but when we are talking about, sir?
Ma'am, property near to the garbage area specified by local authority, we can
No, sometimes, sir, it may be possible that that property is never contaminated, but they are nearer to this garbage area, so people think upon that one. So yes, there are stigma related with that one. Definitely, it reduces the market value of that property, sir. Yes. So we have to keep some points like a stigma also. Now, next one is the water pollution. Am I audible now? My voice is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, your voice is absolutely clear.
Okay. Consider the source of water supply and the water quality characteristics while determining the value of the real estate. Valuers have to make a broad assessment of the water resource, potential assessment of a treatment of water for the individual estate, or assessment of a quality of water supplied by municipal transmissions for the given estate. Generally, you will see that this air pollution and water pollution, we have to see definitely for the industrial properties, right? Because it can be, so when we have to do the valuation of industrial properties, definitely we will concentrate on these 2 points, air pollution, water pollution, even also land pollution also.
Ma'am, is there any authority to check the water pollution in the industries or other?
Yeah, number of rules and regulations are there for the of a state government, sir. Yeah, there are. You have to see all the certificates.
Under which section, ma'am, water pollution is checked?
Sir, under which section? There are number of sections. That is, means even also we have to see that which area is coming under this water area. I mean, in this water legislations and air legislations, we have to see that. And if it is coming under that area, we should have all the certificates and.
Ma'am, in our area, there are several sugarcane mills.
Sugarcane mills are there. Yes, sir.
And which authority is responsible to check the water pollution?
Oh, I don't know the name. Can anybody know? Can anybody have which authority? Look, but it should be a local authority only, sir. I think municipality or that. I think I'm not exactly confirmed for this one.
Okay, ma'am, please continue.
Now, next one is the thermal pollution. Thermal pollution is a one kind of a water pollution. What is thermal pollution? When the temperature of a water abruptly increase or abruptly decrease, then it is considered as a thermal pollution. So when water is using as a coolant in the industry, that is considered as a thermal pollution. Thermal pollution occurs when water bodies are degraded in terms of altering their temperature. It commonly happens when industries undertake activities that suddenly decrease or increase the temperature of the natural water body, which may include lakes, rivers, oceans, or ponds. Thermal pollution is a huge hazard and is mainly influenced by the power plants and the industrial manufacturers that use water as a coolant. Urban stormwater runoff from parking lots and the roads also discharges water of elevated temperature into the adjacent water bodies. So this is a thermal pollution, which is a one kind of a.
Ma'am, I am from Quadravara. Here is NTPC plant. NTPC
yes,
thermal plant. What kind of pollutions created by this plant?
NTPC power plant is of what which
to generate electricity.
What they are using?
I think air pollution is made. Thermal pollution may be created.
Pollution तो होने ही वाला है अगर what coolant even also coolant है तो
water, yeah, water is used for evaporate.
Pardon, sir?
Yeah, as content may pollute air.
Sir, but we have to see that if they have a permission to take a water, is there any river near side that one?
Yeah, ma'am. Narmada river.
Oh, Narmada.
Yeah, they are taking what? They are taking water from Narmada river. And they discharge it to the Sakkar river, which is a small river.
Which is a small river, okay. But sir, yes, sir, what I'm saying that thermal water pollution or air pollution, the standards are given by the state government. And if it is more than that one, then and only it will be considered as a pollution. If it is coming under the prescribed standards, it cannot be considered as a pollution. So we have to see that what are the standards given by the that state, sir. Each state is giving the standards, sir.
Okay, ma'am. For air pollution, which general parameter is there to calculate?
Sir, I am not I don't know in detail in this one how to calculate, but it is given. Even also we can get it from
in Delhi, we ppm शायद ppm क्या रहता है?
But for every state they have their own standards, sir. But it is given by the central bodies only, but every state have their standards, sir. We have to see that.
Okay, ma'am, please continue.
Now, next one is a noise pollution. So we are not using the word sound pollution. We are using the word noise pollution because the definition of a noise is undesired sound and an unwanted disturbance. So can anybody tell me what is the unit of a noise pollution? Sorry, noise pollution. What is the unit of a noise? Kya hai unit?
Decibel.
It's a
Yes.
decibel, right? So you will see that the every for the every area for daytime or night time, the standard decibels are given. Okay, so it can be a one question for a examination. So I have added this and also in this my questionnaire PPT. So daytime noise standard for industrial area, residential area, commercial area. Same thing you will see for the night time, right? So this is noise pollution. So now tell me that consider that you want to purchase a one property. Okay, so two properties are available to you. One is both are in a good location. They are in a very good condition. Everything is very good. Only and in a one same area. Only difference is that one property is adjacent to a school building or a marriage hall, and one is a little bit far away from this one. Which you will prefer for buying or purchasing?
Far away.
Far away. Why?
Noise
We know that
pollution.
noise pollution creates number of annoyance and all that one, right? So yes, definitely, if we are talking about the noise pollution in metro cities or in the cities where land scarcity is there, people are neglecting this one. But apart from this city, definitely
Ma'am.
we will think about that one. We will
Ma'am.
think about, sir.
Ma'am, but for the commercial use, I refer to the near the that school or
Sir,
garden.
we are talking about the residential purpose.
Okay.
So if we are talking about the industrial one, we know that maximum noise is in the industrial area, sir. Right? But that is the different thing. But we are going for 10 to 6 something. But when we are talking about the residential one, we want a peace, calmness, right? We want to rest, we want to sleep. It should be a sound, right? There should be no disturbance. Am I right?
Okay.
The transmission of noise, which is capable of producing physiological impact in an individual, is defined as a noise pollution. Noise pollution may interface with various activities of human like work, recreation, communication, rest or sleep. It may create annoyance and stress. On account of urbanization, the demand of transport facilities are increased. So yes, we know that the main road properties are fetching more market value, but ultimately you will see that in that time also the noise pollution is at a higher side, because continuous, if you are living on a highway 24/7, continuous vehicles will be there. Valuation of a property is dictated by its location. An apartment located close to a cricket stadium or school will be valued less than the properties not affected by the noise emanating from these facilities. This is because too much noise adding to the nuisance value will have a negative impact on a pricing. So this is related with the noise pollution. Next one is the land pollution. Land pollution takes place when waste and garbage is not disposed of in the right manner, and as such introduces toxin and chemicals on the land. There are some activities by which some activities will be see that which leads to a soil pollution or land pollution. First one, commercial incineration of waste, commercial landfills, sewage and industrial effluent treatment plants, petroleum storage tank, electricity generation, commercial use of chemicals, and preservation of a timber. Timber, after cutting down the trees, timber is formed to, and on that one anti-termite is used. So at the rainy season or monsoon season, this anti-termites is percolates in the land, which leads to a land pollution or
Ma'am, is there any example of land pollution in India?
sir, land pollution, if you will go outskirt of the any big cities, number of hills are there of garbages.
Ma'am, Bhopal Gascard may be the example of that.
Sir, Bhopal is it cannot be a land pollution. It mostly it is a air pollution, sir. Bhopal gas can. Bhopal. Now we are talking about the environmental pollution and environmental degradation. So there are, if we are taking some steps, so we can restore the environmental degradation. Definitely not within the 1 year or 2 year, but definitely by the time lapsing, the environmental degradation can be reduced and we can restore the environmental degradation. So which are the steps we can take? We will take one by one. Reformation of the current system with more laws towards environmental pollution and degradation must be implemented. Yes, if the strict rules and regulations are there with a monetary, with a money, definitely people are starting obeying the rules and regulations. Simple example of a traffic. If we are not obeying the traffic rules and regulations, e-memos are coming in terms of a money. So now you will see that people are started following the traffic rules and regulations. Same strict laws will be there in for this all these legislations. Definitely it will be helpful to reduce the environmental degradation. Next one is lift people out of poverty and reduce environmental impact at the same time. So it is not possible by the common man, but some steps are taken by the government to lift the people from poverty. So Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Niwas Yojanas, number of yojanas are there. So government is trying to lift the people from a poverty. TV and internet videos can help reach a wide audience and get people involved. Yes, we know that. Even also 1 year old baby or 2 year old baby can, they are now addicted to the TVs and mobiles and right. So we are the generation. So we are the people, they like to see TV and internet and all that one. So 10 minutes any documentary will, if it is air on this all OTT platform or on TV, so it will be helpful to the people, because sometimes what happen, people are not aware that by their some activities it is increasing the pollution, but such type of documentaries are available and if it will be aired on that one, definitely it will be helpful that the people will come to know that and they will try to reduce the environmental degradation. So TV and internet. Then abandoned cap and trade system. This cap and trade system, if you are aware that every country has given us prescribed standards, that means amount that it can be, that they can emanate carbon footprints or carbon in the air. So you will see that there are some developed countries. In that countries, carbon emanation is more than the standard is given by the given to them. So what they are doing? They are purchasing that standard amount from the countries which are not emanating more than the standard given to them. So what will happen? They are paying amount to that countries and they are trading that standard. They are trading for the carbon footprints. So if we will stop this cap and trade, what will happen? There will be a restriction to the developed countries. So they have to emit only up to that level, standard level, and the countries which are not emitting. So ultimately what will happen in both cases, the carbon footprints or carbon emission will be lower down and it will be helpful for restoring the environmental degradation. And the last one is a promotable renewable energy and new energy technology. These are the steps. So up to this one, everyone are aware of this one. So now we will start with the environmental legislations which are in our syllabus. Up to this, any question to anyone? आप लोगों को ऐसे लग रहा होगा नहीं मैडम तो 8th स्टैंडर्ड का 9th स्टैंडर्ड का बता रही है. Any question? So, outline of environmental legislation. In environmental legislation, 3 articles are important. Article 21, Article 48A, and Article 51AG. In Article 21, right to pollution-free environment. It is a right to pollution-free environment to every citizen of every citizen. Okay, so it is given under the Article 21. Article 48A imposes duty on the state, and Article 51AG imposes duty on every citizen to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. So Article 48A imposes duty to the state, and Article 50AG imposes duty to the every citizen. And Article 21 is right to pollution-free environment. So these are the 3 important articles from the environmental legislation. Now, when we are talking about the types of pollution, same legislation will be there. That is air pollution, air legislation, water pollution, water legislation. So in our syllabus, there are 4 legislation. The Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, the Water Prevention and Control Pollution Sales Act 1977, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, and the Environment Protection Act 1986. It is my request to all of you, whenever you will read any legislation, read it with its establishment year. Why? Because in sometimes in examination, they are asking the establishment year of that particular legislation. So Water Act 1974, Water Sales Act 1977, Air Act 1981, and Environment Act 1986. Okay. So now we will go one by one. First one is the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. So in these legislations, there are 2 important sections. One is section 19 and second is section 25. What is section 19? Under section 19, it is given that in that state, which area are coming under this Water Act 1974. So in states, there are some areas which are not coming under this act, and some area are coming in this act. But when we are talking about the union territory, complete union territory will come under this Water Act 1974. Any person who wants to locate an industry has to check whether the area in which he wants to locate an industry is in the areas declared under section 19 of the Water Act or not. Under section 19, the areas are given where this act is implemented. And what is section 25? Section 25 of Acts prohibits dumping of poisonous, noxious, or polluting matter into the streams and wells, as well as any activity which is impairs the flow of the water of a stream. Means under section 25, prohibition of a dumping of poisonous and noxious polluter matter into the stream is given. So section 19 and section 25. Now it is a state board. The act empowers a state board upon 30 days to notice a polluter to execute any work required under a consent order which has not been executed. The board may recover the expenses for such work from the polluter. It is the duty of valuer to ensure that the occupier of the industry has fulfilled all the obligations under this act before he makes any transaction of buying or selling of the industrial property under your advice. Your advice means under valuer advice. But important point is that it is coming under the state board, section 19 and section 25. Next one is a Water Sales Act 1977. Only one. It is provided for the levy and collection of a sales or fees on a water consuming industries and local authorities. This sales is collected with a view to augment the sources of a central board and the state boards for the prevention and control of a water pollution constituted under the Water Act 1974. And this act was last amended in 2003. So sometimes can be asked. So this is last amended in 2003. Now next one is a Air Act 1981. This provides for the prevention, control and abatement of air pollution in the nation. This act mainly regulates and controls emissions from the automobiles and industrial plants. Under the Air Act, all industries operating with a designated air pollution control areas must be obtained consent from the state board. So water is also state board, air is also state board. Okay. Now here also there are two important sections. First is the section 19 and section 22. So this section 19 is the same of water, that is it contemplates declaration of air pollution control areas, where we have seen in a water also. In both cases that is the same section 19. In water you will see that it is the section 25 of prohibition of dumping poisonous and noxious gases into the stream. Here it is a section 22. What is section 22? Any person carrying on any industry or operating any industrial plant in any air pollution control area is prohibited from discharging or causing or permitting to be discharged the emission of any air pollutant in excess of the standards laid down by the state board. So here prohibition of a prohibition for pollutant matter into the air, it is given under the section 22, and for water it is under section 25. So ये मुझे लगता है आपको ये याद रह जाएगा, कोई इशू नहीं आएगा. The next one is the Environment Protection Act 1986. Again, there are two important sections. First is the section 8. Second one is the section 3, subsection 2.5. Now, when we are talking about the Environmental Act, it is by the central government. Water and air by the state government. This is by the central government. Section 3, subsection 2.5 confers power on the central government to restrict the areas in which any industry, operation, process or class of industries, operation or processes shall be carried out subject to certain safeguards. Means this permission is we have to take a permission from a central government for the starting any operation or any processes in that particular area, if it is coming under the Environmental Act 1986. So I think under this section 3 subsection 2.5, the person has to take a permission from a central government, and the section 8 is related with the handling of a hazardous material. This act clearly provides that no person shall handle or cause to handle any hazardous substance except in accordance with such procedures and after complying with such safeguards as may be prescribed. So section 8 of the Environment Protection Act 1986 is related with the handling of a hazardous material substance. आप लोगों को लगे क्या ये बहुत only rules and regulations, articles and sections ही. So any question up to this one? मुझे अतुल जी दिख रहे हैं, शिवम जी is there. What about the others? अनुराग जी, कीर्ति मैडम, नीरव जी, गोविंद जी, प्रमोद जी, विश्वनाथ जी, जयसन जी, नोवा जी, अखिलन Prashant ji. Any question? નીરજિત તમે ક્યાંથી છો?
જામનગર થી.
જામનગર. Okay. Okay. Now, in our syllabus, number of other Pramod Tiwari. Yes, sir. Any question? No. Okay, no question. Okay. So there are number of other and legislations are there. Environmental rules, hazardous waste rules, solid waste management rules, the construction and demolition waste management rules, the noise pollution amendment rules, wetland rules. Okay, so these, but generally the questions are not asked from this one, but definitely one question either from Indian Forest Act or Forest Conservation Act, and one question from Factories Act or Mines Act. Definitely one question will be there. So we will go in detail. So very first, forest and wildlife. Indian Forest Act 1927. The act gives the state government the power to create reserve forest and the right to use reserve forest for a government use alone. It also created protected forest in which the use of resource by the local people was controlled. Some forests were to be controlled by the village community, and these were part of village forest. It was realized that protecting forest for the timber production alone was not acceptable. So yes, we know that this forest of Indian Forest Act is there to protect the forest. So very first, we know that there are number of jungles or forests are there, in which number of villages are there. So before that one, the peoples which are living in that village, they are completely depending upon the forest material. They are using the forest material unlimited. But now, though there is a village forest are there, the restriction has been given to the villagers to use the forest things or forest material. Okay, and for the construction of a timber, when there is a need of a forest land, generally nowadays we are not getting a permission, because timber, when timber will be formed, when we will cut down the trees, then it will be a timber. So protecting forest for a timber production is not acceptable, right? So this is the Indian Forest Act. It is, have you seen the movie Kantara or Kantara? So it is related with this Indian Forest Act, where the peoples living in the villages are not allowed to use all the materials from the forest. Now next one is the Forest Conservation Act 1980 and its rule 1981. It strictly restricts and regulates the de-reservation of a forest or use of a forest land for non-forest purpose without the prior approval of central government. Means government has given one definition for a non-forest purpose. What is meaning by non-forest purpose? For any activity when we have to cut down the trees, it will be considered as a non-forest purpose. So if you want to do a non-forest purpose, we have to take a permission from a central government. So which activities are coming under non-forest purposes? We will see that. Non-forest purpose means breaking up or clearing of any forest land or a portion thereof for cultivation of a tea, coffee, spices, rubber, palms, then oil-bearing plants, horticultural crops, or medicinal plants, or for any purpose other than reforestation. So all this cultivation of a tea, coffee, spices will come under the non-forest purpose, because for the cultivation of these plants, we have to cut down the trees. Again, we have to, and it is when we are cultivating these trees means we are not reforesting, because definitely we have to cut such plants for the next year, for the year. So these all will come under the non-forest activity. Okay, there are some activities that we have to do in a forest, and in that purpose also we have to cut down the trees. But if such activities is for the management, conservation, and or a development of a forest, then they are excluded from a non-forest purpose. So which are the activities is excluded from the non-forest purpose? We will see that. Non-forest purpose does not include any work relating to the conservation, development, and management of a forest and wildlife. Except, for example, establishment of a checkpost, fire line construction of fencing, bridges, culverts, dams, pipelines, water hole pipelines, etc. So yes, for such such activities, we have to cut down the trees. But whatever these activities we are doing, it is for the conservation, development, and management of a forest. So such activities are excluded from a non-forest purpose. So 2 points you should know that what is meaning by non-forest purpose, which activities are coming under the non-forest purpose, and which activities are excluded from a non-forest purpose. Okay, clear? Very important. Definitely one question will come. Next in the wild. Hey, नीरज जी देखिए ना, आप खुद को अनम्यूट कर पा रहे हो? हो रहा है ना सर? हाँ, okay. The next one is the Wildlife Act 1972, the Biological Diversity Act 2001. But definitely question will be asked from these two. Now next, industrial safety and occupational laws, number of health laws are there. That is Explosive Act, Dangerous Machine Act, Indian Boiler Act, Petroleum Act, Plantation Labor Act, Indian Atomic Energy Act, Insecticide Act, Radiological Protection Rule, and Electricity Act. But in an examination point of view, important are Factory Act and Mines Act. So we'll go through that one. The object of protecting factory workers from subjecting to unduly long hours of bodily strain or manual labor. It is applicable only to the factories that employ 10 or more workers. 1 point. It covers only a small proportion of workers, and this act is enforced by the state government through factory inspector. So 1, it is applicable to the factories having employed 10 or more, and it is enforced by the state government to the factory inspector. So these are the 2 important points from the Factories Act 1948. Next one is the Mines Act 1952. To attend and consolidate the law relating to the regulations of labor and safety in the mines. Mines include coal, metal, and oils, and extends to the whole of India. So which are the mines are coming under the Mines Act? Are only 3 mines, that is coal, metal, and oil. So in examination, it can be asked that which is not coming under the Mines Act. So you have given 4 options, you have to choose the right one. And it extends to the whole of India. Formation of a safety committees in every mine where more than 100 persons are employed. Providing a notification of accidents and the appointment of a workmen inspected by the manager. So, and second point is 1 inspector for every 500 miners. It can be asked in examination. And third point is adolescents that is not completed 15 years are prohibited from any mining operation. So important point from Factory Act is more than 10 or more. It is enforced by state government. Mines Act is extended to the whole India. Coal, metal, and oil are coming under the Mines Act. There is a 1 inspector for every 500 miners, and adolescents are prohibited from any mining operations. So these are the some important points from the Mines Act. So up to this one, any question? Atul ji, Shivam ji, Nirav ji, Yogesh sir, Anurag ji, Pramod ji, गोविंद देव जी।
मैम।
हाँ सर।
हेलो।
हाँ सर।
मैम ये एक्ट याद कैसे रहेंगे?
सर मैंने ये इतना सिंपल है सर, मैंने क्या किया है सर, आप एक काम कर सकते हो, मैं सिंपल सबको यही बताती हूँ। मैंने जितने सेक्शंस दिए वो लिखिए, एक टेबुलर फॉर्म एक पेज पे लिख दिए थोड़े बड़े अक्षर में और कहीं पे चिपका दीजिए। तो मैं आपको वैसे भी बताऊंगी कि आगे आप पढ़ोगे ना तो ऐसे टेबल बना के रख दीजिए ना सर। दिन में एक बार भी पढ़ोगे ना तो एक्स्ट्रा, जैसे हम नहाने के बाद भगवान को नमस्कार करते हैं ना, उनको नमस्कार करने के बाद एक बार पढ़ लेने का, आपको वैसे ही याद हो जाएंगे सर।
भगवान को याद करना पड़ेगा।
भगवान को याद करने के बाद वो एक बार पढ़ लेने का।
जी
जैसे
जी।
तुम 2 बार भगवान को, एक बार सुबह नहाने के बाद नमस्कार करते हो और शाम को नमस्कार करते हो, सेम एक बार पढ़ लेने का बस। मुझे नहीं लगता आपको 15 दिन में तो याद रहने जाएंगे, लेकिन 15 दिन लगेंगे। Okay, so up to this one we have completed the list. What is meaning by environment, what are the environmental legislations. Now we will see that when we have to give the valuation of a such a environmentally affected property, what we will do. Valuation of an environmentally affected property. The objective of studying environmentally affected property is to provide guidance to the valuers in preparing valuation brief when environmental factors may have influence on the asset value. So there are 2 types of contamination. First is a physical contamination. Second one is a non-physical contamination. Physical contamination includes asbestos, heavy metals such as lead, mercury, or mining products like arsenic, cyanide, pesticides, or organic compounds like formaldehyde, coal tar from coal used in a powerhouse operations, etc. And non-physical contamination means we cannot see with the naked eyes, but definitely it is having a ill effect on a marketability of asset or to the human. Proximity to noise sources often diminishes utility. Electromagnetic radiations originating from nearby power lines or radio transmission devices. So these are the examples of a non-physical contamination. So whenever we want to give the valuation of a contaminated property, first we will see that by which type of a contamination it is contaminated. So first we will recognize it is a physical contamination or non-physical contamination. After that one, what we will do, we will categorize the property considering the priority for an action. So very first step that we will categorize the property considering the priority for an action. It is a class 1, class 2, class 3, class N, and class I. So we will start. So class 1 is a high priority for action, means it is completely contaminated. If possible, the action is required today or this moment only. So such kind of properties will come under the class 1. Available information indicates that that action is required to address the existing concerns for public health and safety. So it is a class 1. Then what is class 2? Medium priority for action. Threat to human health and environmental is generally not imminent. Action is likely required. Not today, but yes, within coming days, we have to take a action. The next one is a low priority for action. The site is currently not a high concern. However, additional investigation may be carried out to confirm the site classification and the degree of action may be required. Class A, not priority for action. Generally, sometimes what happens, there are some properties which are nearer to the contaminated property. So that property is never contaminated. And then no need of any action also. But in future, if in the coming years, it will be possible, it can be contaminated. But today says that it is not contaminated. So not a priority for action. There is probably no significant. Sir. Sir.
One building is getting fired, then how we can value as per the class?
Sir, fire damage cannot be an environmental damage.
Okay.
This is probably no significant environmental impact or human health threats, and there is an action not likely required unless new information become available, indicating greater concerns when the site be re-examined. And the class I, that is insufficient information. Some initial site assessment action has been taken out, but there is insufficient information to classify the site and additional information is required. But when we are talking about the class I, generally it is a low priority for action or for not a priority for action. But this medium priority for action and high priority for action, we can easily categorize. Now, this is the flow diagram, how we will give the valuation. First, identify the contaminants, recognize the current state of quantification, means the actions required, understand, study regulations and precedent having impact on the marketability and value of an asset. What are the impact of this contamination or pollution on the asset? Then compute the cost of cleanup technology. Determine the value considering the environmental factors. Some stigma factors will be there by which the valuation will get reduced. We will convert it into the monetary term. We will minus all these things and we will get a valuation report. But please keep in mind, whenever we want to give the valuation of a such environmentally polluted or contaminated property, we, if it is possible, take a help of an environmental expert, because it is generally for the contaminated properties, the risk of a lawsuit in the future is definitely there. So to avoid that one, we are a civil engineer, but definitely we can take a help of a environmental expert, and definitely we can take instead of that one, we must take the help of an environmental expert. Valuers may employ environmental expert or client may appoint a suitable consultant. Definitely, it is helpful to us only. Now we will see that general effects of contamination of a property. So definitely, if you will compare normal property with the contaminated property, you will get what are the effects on a contaminated property. So very first, fall of demand. Normally, no buyer will be interested to purchase such property when non-contaminated property is available in the market. Yes. So because of fall in demand, fall of price. So now consider that number of people are saying no to that contaminated property. If one person is there, he is interested to buy that property. Definitely, he is not interested to buy it for the market rate. Definitely, it will ask for the discount. Meaning is that directly it's fall of price. Its market value reduce. Asset of the market. Some companies, in absence of the market data on a contaminated asset, believes that assets would not be sold at any price, and such companies keep the assets of the market. Sometimes what happens, the property is not completely contaminated. It is not for priority for action, but in lack of a knowledge, the people or a company, they keep that property out of asset of the market. So though they have a marketability, still it cannot fetch a market value. Then risk of a lawsuit. The companies have fear that buying a contaminated asset may create contingent liabilities associated with the lawsuit. Both the seller may refrain from buying and the valuer from valuing such contaminated property. Yes, what will happen? Fall in demand, fall in price reduces the market value. When a stigma is attached, the property remains in less demand, even though complete cleanup has been established. It creates a situation similar to the obsolescence. Obsolescence means out of market, out of trade. Difficulty in getting finance. Definitely, if you are giving you contaminated property for the mortgage, no bank will be interested to take it as a mortgage. So it is difficult to mortgage and get finance on a contaminated properties, especially when the property is known to be contaminated. And the last one is very important, difficulty in getting funds for the remediation. Remediation is the most essential to enhance its utility. It is also difficult to obtain the additional funds for a remediation. So these are property. Now, when we are talking about the contaminated property and we will compare it with the regular property, number of cost, more means other cost are related with the contaminated property. So we required more cost for the contaminated property. Which costs are there? We will see. Very first, cost to cure for combating the problem of a contamination. Some costs are attached to acquire that objective. The cost comprises of direct cost and indirect cost. Cost to control, taking suitable steps to mitigate the impact of contamination on the asset. Cost to public liability, the owner has to pay the cost related to the release of the toxic contamination onto the surrounding properties. Cost to disruption, it is a important, can be asked in examination, which come under the cost to disruption. First one, removal of a contamination from the subject property, disposal of a contaminant to the safer location like landfill site and incineration site, renovating the part of the property, displacement of occupant, tenant if any, and bringing the other tenants. So this cost to disruption can be asked in examination. So what you have given a 4 option, which is cost to disruption is given. Then cost to operation, contamination may result into increase in the operation and maintenance cost. This has become contaminated property, may need extra supervisory personnel, additional testing, careful monitoring, as well as security. Now, cost to utility, if you have to come to that some portion of a property is contaminated, definitely we will stop using it. Even also, if it is given on a rent, no one is interested to take a property on a rent, contaminated property on a rent. So cost to utility, this is the cost when the property cannot be fully utilized by the owner on account of a contamination. And reduced net revenue, definitely consider that before 2 years, you have given your property on a rent, you are earning a rent considering the market scenario. And is after 2 years today, your property gets contaminated. Maybe possible no one is interested to live in a contaminated property, but someone is living in such contaminated property, definitely he will not pay a rent, market rate. It is always in a discount form. So that is directly reduce the revenues. So cost to utility, reduce the revenues. So we know that sometimes what happens, some stigmas are related with the property. What is meaning by the stigma? The negative rumors by which the market value of a property get reduced. In our regular properties, it may be possible that there is a suicide case in that flat, suicide case in bungalow, or there is a death in a bungalow or bhutiya bangla. So these are the some rumors related with that asset or property. It is considered as a stigma, and because of this stigma you will see that the marketability or the value or the market rate of the property get reduced. In our environmental degraded property or environmental polluted property, number of stigmas are there, but these stigmas are depending upon the classification of a property, that is class 1, class 2, class 3, class N or class I. So depending upon that one, the stigmas are related with that one. What is meaning by stigma? Because of this stigma, the market value for such contaminated property is get reduced. So very first, environmentally contaminated property or a source site, these properties are absolutely known to be contaminated and market is not a position to hide, make them off the market. So fully contaminated properties will be the hub of the market. So no one is interested to buy it. Next one is an environmentally suspected property, means class 2, class 3. What are the stigma related with the class 2, class 3? That is risk of remediation cost, which are hidden, trouble factor, fear of future lawsuit, lack of sellability and mortgageability. So when it is class 3, these are the some stigmas related with that property by which its value get reduced. Now, environmentally remediated property. It may be a class 2, class 3. It is completely remediated. Still, if you will come to know that there was a contamination in this property, now it is completely cleanup technology has been done and now it is completely clean up. Still, some question will arise in our mind. It is nothing but the stigma. What are they? Risk about its absolute remediation, risk of additional cleanup in a future, and risk of unexpected perception. So by these stigmas, the value of such properties are decreasing. Sometimes what happens, there are some properties besides of the contaminated properties. That property never been contaminated. But still, now tell me that if you will come to know that whatever property you want to purchase, other property beside this property is contaminated property. Definitely some questions will be arise in your mind. What are they? We will see that. These are the properties which were never contaminated, but they are located in proximity to the contaminated property. Adjacent property shares a common property line with the source site. These properties are never reported to be contaminated, but the stigma is attached to them as they are likely to be contaminated because they are believed to be a very near to the hazardous waste. So definitely it's a market value can be reduced, though it is not contaminated. So these are the some stigmas related with the contaminated property. Now we have seen that what we will do. First, we will see that by which contamination it get contaminated. Then second, we will categorize the property considering the priority for action, and then we will give the valuation. But when we are talking about such properties, again, it is a real estate property. So what we will do? Again, we will categorize the property. Income fetching marketable, non-income fetching marketable, non-income fetching non-marketable, and upon that one, we will decide the approach. So again, there are three approach. Market approach. For market approach, it is a sales comparison method or cost. And income approach, we will go by the capitalization method. So consider that you have to give the valuation of a contaminated property where owner is living. Owner himself is living. So we will adopt a sales comparison method. So for the sales comparison method, what we will do? We will see the another properties, contaminated property in nearby area. If it is not available in nearby area, we will see in another area. Okay. And now what we will do? We will compare our property with that contaminated property. Okay. We will take age, we will take a location, everything we will take for the comparison. We will compare the our property with that another compared contaminated property. So the following steps are followed in this method: identification of a contaminated property, analysis and comparison, adjustment of a prices of a comparable properties, and determination of a value estimate or stigma assessment. So we will adopt these steps. In a cost approach, what we will do? Land value take separately, building value we are taking. So in regular way, what we are doing? We are calculating the construction cost of that building today. Then we are minusing the depreciation considering the age to get a building value. Same thing we will add up for the contaminated property. But what we'll do? How we will calculate the construction cost? As if unimpaired, the cost of a subsolution is estimated considering the hypothetical condition that there is no contamination. So what we will do? We will consider that this property is not contaminated. We will calculate the construction cost of that property today. And what, instead of minusing the depreciation, what we will minus? We will minus cost of remediation, stigma factor based on the provable losses, and if there is a specialized cost. And after minusing that one, we will get a building value. That is the cost approach. And the last is the income approach. In income approach, what we will do? We will take an annual rate. We will capitalize it with year purchase to get a capitalized value. So estimating the annual gross income stream by obtaining market rental data, obtaining income or allowable expenses related to the contamination. What we will do? We will calculate we will take a gross income. We will minus the remediation amount, and whatever net income will be there, we will capitalize it to get a valuation of a property. Determination of a value of a contaminated property using capitalization rate. If your property is given on a lease or it is given on a rent. So in such cases, we will adopt a income approach. And this is completely all about the environmental issues. Yes, any question? बहुत ही मोनोटोनस है, मुझे बात करनी पड़ती है और सिर्फ आर्टिकल और सेक्शंस और यही है. Yes, I know. But yes. Any question from your side? अतुल जी, नीरव जी, शिवम जी, योगेश जी, विकास जी, कीर्ति मैम, प्रमोद जी. जयसन जी, प्रशांत जी, हरिओम, सत्या, शिल्पा, विश्वनाथ, वासुदेवन, यश, अनुराग,
मैडम
पावनी। यस सर।
ये एनवायरमेंट में भी पोस्ट अप्रोच सेल्स कंपैरिजन ये आता है और
हाँ सर।
नॉर्मल में भी आता है, तो अगर क्या स्पेसिफिक ये मांगे कि एनवायरमेंट के ऊपर रिपोर्ट चाहिए तो ही ये आता है ना?
सर एनवायरमेंटली आएगा ना तो हमें क्या करना है कि हमें उस तरह से जाना है। जैसे एनवायरमेंटली अफेक्टेड प्रॉपर्टी रेगुलर में हम क्या करते हैं सर, अगर 2 BHK तो नियर बाय एरिया 2 BHK लेते हैं, राइट। तो यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, और हम क्या करते हैं, नियर बाय एरिया लेते हैं। लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे सर, हम अगर हमारे एरिया में कंटेमिनेटेड प्रॉपर्टी नहीं मिलती तो हम दूसरी कंटेमिनेटेड प्रॉपर्टी कंपेरिजन के लिए लेंगे। ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि जो दूसरी प्रॉपर्टी हम कंपैरिजन के लेने कंपेयर करने के लिए लेंगे तो उसका ऑलरेडी मार्केट वैल्यू से वैल्यू कम होगा, तो हम उसको कंपेयर कर पाएंगे। तो हमारी कंटेमिनेटेड प्रॉपर्टी रेगुलर प्रॉपर्टी से हम कंपेयर नहीं कर पाएंगे।
नहीं मतलब मैडम मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ, ये स्पेसिफिक मांगेंगे ना रिपोर्ट में कि एनवायरमेंट के ऊपर मेरे को ये वैल्यूएशन चाहिए,
हाँ, अगर आपको
तभी देना है
एनवायरमेंटली
ना इसमें ये
हाँ
ये जो
रेगुलर प्रॉपर्टी में
इक्वेशन।
सर जैसे रेजिडेंशियल प्रॉपर्टी होगी ना तो वहां पे कंटेमिनेशन या पोल्यूशन के बहुत कम चांसेस होते हैं सर। बट नियर टू द इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया होगा तो वो हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि भाई, अगर तो आजकल हो जाता है ना कि डिस्टेंस रहता ही नहीं इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी और रेसिडेंशियल एरिया में, तब हमें थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा सर। पर वो भी पहले तो हम कैटेगराइज करेंगे, क्लास 1, क्लास 2, क्लास 3 नहीं आता है तो फिर नो इश्यूज। हाँ, बट if it is confirmed that it is a contaminated property, definitely we will go through in detail.
Ma'am,
Okay? हाँ सर।
client doesn't say that my property is contaminated. We have to be alert on that.
यस सर, देखिए सर, आप रेसिडेंशियल एरिया में रह रहे हो तो आपको पता ही होगा नहीं है, तो मैंने क्या बोला, अगर प्रॉपर्टी नियर टू द ये होगी, नियर टू द इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया और ऐसी जगह पे होगी तो हाँ डेफिनेटली हम देखेंगे सर। यस
मैम, भूतिया बंगला में भी इन द रेसिडेंशियल एरिया।
सर, भूतिया बंगला दैट स्टिग्मा इज अनदर थिंग। अब भूतिया बंगला में कैसे, वहां पे स्टिग्मा जो है वो कंटेमिनेशन का स्टिग्मा नहीं है, वो अलग है। जैसे आपको एक सिंपल एग्जांपल दूंगी कि सुशांत सिंह राजपूत हैड सुसाइड डन इन दैट फ्लैट अप टू April 2024. No one is interested to take it on a rent because there is a suicide case. Okay, so what will happen, though it is in a good location, it is a good condition, it cannot fetch a market value. It is always less than the market value.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the some examples that you can I have given it to you. So here also I have highlighted the answers. So no, so what does the phrase anthropogenic CO2 emission means? Human-made CO2 emission. Then it is related with the decibels. It is given. Then the process of converting wet waste to the manure is composting. When did the government of India pass the Environmental Protection Act? Establishment it is 1986. What is CPCB stands for? Same thing, SPCB is there, State Pollution Control Board. Forest Conservation Act was enacted in which year? It is 1980 and its rules 1981. Section 25 of Water Act 1972 deals with restriction of a new outlets and new discharges. Which of the following legislations does not provide for the pollution control? Water pollution है, air pollution है, environmental pollution है, but the Technology Transfer of Abuse Act 2007 is not related with the pollution. Okay, so these are the questions can be asked in an examination. So this PPT, our PPT and these questions, so definitely you can earn 3 marks. Okay. So any question from your side? अतुल जी, नीरव जी, शिवम जी, प्रशांत जी, अखिलन जी, शिल्पा मैम एंड वासुदेवन, इतने लोग मुझे दिख रहे हैं। एनी क्वेश्चन? एनी क्वेश्चन? योगेश जी, आप बोलेंगे मैडम 12 बज गए, हमें लंच करना है. ओके, शैल वी स्टॉप हियर? यू हैव अ लंच ब्रेक ऑफ 12 to 1 ना? हाँ, उसके लिए तो हाँ बोलिए आप लोग, उसके लिए भी कुछ नहीं बोल रहे.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So we will take a break, a lunch break, and after that one, again I am coming for from 1 to 4:30. Again we will go through the law related with the real estate. Again, rules and regulations is section, number of sections and number of articles are there. Okay. So shall we stop here? हाँ तो बोलिए, तो हम बंद करते हैं.
Yes,
राहुल
ma'am.
सर,
जी मैम, स्टॉप कर दीजिए.
थैंक यू रेवती मैम.
Thank you,
मैं
sir.
आप सभी से दरख्वास्त करना चाहूंगा कि प्लीज यहाँ मुझे 2 मिनट का वक्त दीजिएगा. हमारे एक छोटे से गेस्ट हैं, हम उनका दरअसल इंतजार कर रहे हैं ताकि वो आपसे अपकमिंग एग्जाम के से रिलेटेड थोड़ी इन्फॉर्मेशन शेयर कर सके. जैसे ही मुझे उनका रिप्लाई मिलेगा मैं आपको बता दूंगा. मुझे सिर्फ 1 मिनट का वक्त दीजिएगा, अदरवाइज मैं यहाँ पे ब्रेक अनाउंस करता हूँ. थैंक यू रेवती मैम. दरअसल हमारे एक मेंबर हैं, उन्होंने रिसेंटली अपना आईबीबीआई एग्जाम क्लियर किया है. ये खास बात नहीं है कि आईबीबीआई एग्जाम क्लियर किया है. आईबीबीआई एग्जाम तकरीबन और 5,500 लोगों ने क्लियर किया है. बहुत से लोगों ने अच्छे मार्क्स के साथ एग्जाम क्लियर किया है, मगर सही बात सही वक्त पे होनी चाहिए. तो फिलहाल उन्होंने जो अपना एग्जाम क्लियर किया है विद स्कोर ऑफ 76%, जो कि आईबीबीआई में अच्छी खासी नंबर्स में इसको हम गिना जाएगा. तो हम ऐसा नहीं मानते कि ये बहुत ज्यादा ताज्जुब है कि भाई 76% आ ही नहीं सकते, मगर अगर आए हैं, किसी ने इतनी मेहनत से हासिल की है, तो हम चाहेंगे कि वो आपके साथ भी थोड़ा सा अपना एक्सपीरियंस को साझा करें और बताएं कि किस तरीके से उन्होंने अपनी तैयारी की एग्जाम की, कितना मुश्किल रहा ये सफर और किस आसानी के साथ वो इस स्कोर तक पहुंचे, ताकि वो आने वाले दिनों में आप जब अपने आईबीबीआई एग्जाम की तैयारी करेंगे, उनके द्वारा दिया हुआ कोई भी सजेशन आपके भी काम है. इसीलिए मैं आपसे चाहूंगा कि अगर आप चाहें तो 1 मिनट का 2 मिनट का यहाँ इंतजार कीजिए ताकि वो जल्दी सेशन को ज्वाइन करें और अपना एक्सपीरियंस आपसे साझा कर सकें. जी कैसी रही सर आपकी क्लास? कैसा रहा आपका क्लास?
बढ़िया रहा सर.
के पास अच्छे खासे सवाल थे. अब सवाल तो उसी के पास होते हैं जिसकी कम से कम दिलचस्पी होती है. फिर दो किस्म के लोग होते हैं क्लास में जिनके पास सवाल होते हैं. एक वो जिसको वाकई दिलचस्पी है उस सब टॉपिक में, उस सब्जेक्ट में, उसने सुना है तो मन में सवाल आना लाजमी है. या फिर दूसरा शख्स वो होगा जिसको वाकई या तो समझ ना आया हो और आपके सवाल पूछने का कॉन्फिडेंस वो दूसरे वालों के तरफ. बस इतने नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस होते हैं कि मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम हर सवालों का एक वाजिब जवाब ढूंढे तो एक अलग सेशन चाहिए उसके लिए. क्योंकि क्या है ना, आईबीबीआई के साथ एक छोटी सी परेशानी तो है ही है कि यहाँ जो टाइम है वो बड़ा ही लिमिटेड है. 40-50 आवर्स के अंदर सेशन कंप्लीट करना होता है और 15 लोगों के मन में सवाल उठना तो जायज है, क्योंकि एवेल्युएशन एक ऐसी चीज है ही नहीं जिसको 50 घंटों के अंदर कवर किया जा सके. बहुत लंबा कोर्स है. और आपका एक ही क्वेश्चन जो मैंने था वो मॉर्निंग में सुना था कि रिपोर्ट राइटिंग इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आर्ट. लिखना एक कला का हिस्सा है और इंजीनियरिंग एक टेक्निकल पार्ट है. आप दोनों के बीच में एक तालमेल ढूंढ रहे थे, राइट? मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी राहुल जी.
जी, मैं वो सवाल जरूर सुनना चाहूंगा. मुक्षित जी हमें ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं. मुक्षित सर.
Yes, sir.
आप ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं तो एक बार आपका कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए सर।
Sure. Yeah.
चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच। 12:07 ऑलरेडी हो गए हैं, तो ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लूंगा मैं आपका, ताकि आप अपनी बात यहाँ पे रख सके और उसके बाद हम यहाँ पे लंच अनाउंस कर सके। तो मोक्षित जी के बारे में ऑलरेडी मैं यहाँ पे पहले बता चुका हूँ कि कुछ वक्त पहले मोक्षित जी ने हमारे साथ इस सेशन को ज्वाइन किया था, उसके बाद अपना IBA एग्जाम दिया, स्कोर 76%, सही हूँ सर मैं या?
Correct.
हाँ, तो 76% के साथ उन्होंने अपना एग्जाम क्लियर किया, जो वाकई काबिले तारीफ है। किस तरीके से वो 76% वाले जैसे एक स्कोर तक पहुंचे, तो वो तजुर्बा जरूर आपसे साझा करना चाहेंगे। हमारी रिक्वेस्ट है मोक्षी जी से कि किस अकॉर्डिंग आपने अपनी तैयारी की, कैसे आपने अपना IBA एग्जाम क्लियर किया, कितना मुश्किल रहा, मुश्किल को आसानी में कैसे आपने तब्दील किया, वो थोड़ी सी जानकारी हमारे बाकी साथियों के साथ भी शेयर कीजिए प्लीज।
Sure, definitely.
थैंक यू।
Thank you so much for inviting me and for this introduction, first of all. And also thank you to the RVO and ARF group as a whole. I mean, everyone has really supported for my this preparation, and it is only because of the RVO that I've been able to pass the examination. Should I also maybe speak in English or Hindi, or is it okay if I continue in English? Whatever, like maximum.
सर यू मे कंटिन्यू इन इंग्लिश।
English is okay.
इंग्लिश इज ओके
Yes,
बिकॉज वो सबके लिए एक कंफर्टेबल लैंग्वेज है।
correct.
Sir,
Sure,
I
sure,
said
sure.
English.
Yes, sir. Sure. Yeah. So I was also like one of you guys. I also joined before about 2 months, and I also did the 50 hours of training through this RBO, and then I gave my examination. I prepared for some time, and I gave my examination. So basically, first I'll give you some background about myself, because I have done my civil engineering and I have also done an MBA. So I had some background about like engineering, civil related, real estate related regulations and all that, and also related to finance. So that like two parts of this examination, mainly it is one related to legal side and one is related to economics and finance. So there are a lot of like case studies and problems that we need to solve in this examination. So in wherein you will require some kind of an maths and some kind of an finance knowledge, calculating present values and calculating the cash flows and discounting them using maybe sinking fund, etc. So that helped me actually also because I had some background. So and for this examination, basically what I will say is that in the preparation, first what I had prepared was one, I had gone through and the courses that were held by the RVO, and I learned through that. I went through the resources which were shared by the RVO team, and for the preparation I also did extensive I mean a study of all the MCQs model sample papers which were given by the IBBI. So you can go through all the sample papers which are shared by IBBI, uh, and also across the categories. So maybe if it is, even if it is for SFA or PNM, you can go through it, because there are general questions related to our land and building also. So you can also get an idea about the kind of questions that the IBBI would be asking related to some topics. And in my opinion, for my specific test, I had observed that around 20% of questions were almost the same questions which I had like seen in the model papers or the mock test one through RVO. I'd also given a mock test to just see, which is available on the website portal of AAR, and everyone is like having access to that. So like you can also get an idea through that model paper also. You please thoroughly go through it, and there's a high likely chance that you'll get 20-25% of questions as it is, almost as it is from the model question paper set. So that was really helpful. Second, you can also focus on the case study. So case study was a really important segment, and it holds really good amount of scoring. And in that case study questions also, there were a lot of questions and similar type of fundamentals which were related to the model paper also. So like for me specifically, maybe I was lucky or whatever, I had seen some questions which were already case study specifically. Similar concepts were also there in the examination, so it was really helpful to actually solve through all this. There are basic formulas and basic some kind of an type of questions which are definitely going to come. So if you thoroughly practice those questions, then I'm sure it will be really really helpful in your examination. So you can also go through that case study part well. And thirdly, for me, I tried to answer maximum questions and because I was like, whenever I was going through the questions, I had this thought that if there is a 25% negative marking, even if I can eliminate two options out of the four MCQ options, if I have 50% chance of being right, then I used to take that chance. So I have answered almost all questions bearing one or two in the examination, and which has actually helped me also in from the probability point of view. Also, there's high chances that you can benefit out of it rather than the negative score. If you are not certain about any of the options, if you have no idea which options you can eliminate, then don't select any option. Then there is no point of taking that risk, and it will be harmful, that it will be like impacting you negatively, because there is negative marking of 25%. So I mean, that is the strategy that I used in my exam preparation and in my exam in which I had given recently. So this is just the brief of what I have understood. Now maybe I can ask if you have any questions, I can answer those briefly. Rahulji, thank you. I don't have anything else to add.
थैंक यू मुक्षी जी, थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच सर। मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपसे जो भी जानकारी हमारे साथियों को मिली वो उनके लिए फायदेमंद साबित हो। आपके वक्त के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड थैंक यू एवरीवन आल्सो। अब यहाँ पे आपको और देर ना करवाते हुए आपका लंच ब्रेक अनाउंस करते हैं। 1 बजे आपका क्लास फिर से ज्वाइन कीजिएगा। 1 आवर का आपका लंच होता है, तो आज इसको 45 मिनट से ही काम चला लीजिएगा। 1 बजे आप सबका इंतजार रहेगा प्लीज। थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू।